Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? It is me, HTG Brian, and I'm going to wait just a hot second or five to make sure that the stream starts up, gets all healthy, and that some of yous get the notification to come join us. But if you're one of those quickies that are already here, welcome, and don't worry, it won't be too long. It won't be too long. Oh, interesting. My thumbnail looks like it's off a little bit. I must have bumped it on screen here, perhaps. Let's see here. Oh, yep, it is off just a little bit. There we go. All right, now it's fixed. But, yeah. I got Tyler P on the chat as well, so we'll be hanging out, kind of talking as we walk through and purchase all the remaining characters and vehicles. And I don't know how much running around we're going to do and smashing things, but I figured we'd at least read the comic cards and things like that. What do you think, Tyler? You got any suggestions for us?
I
got nothing. So he's trying to get good at Far Cry 5 right now, and it's not going so well based on his previous reports.
Oh, man.
You got any...
I was
going to say, you got
around.
any updates for us on that? Is there anything relevant that we should be aware of?
Nope. Just shooting guys with my
Let's
truck.
go ahead and kick this thumbnail off so we can get some live action going here. Currently, we have been live for a minute, and it appears that 0 are watching. So we are off to a great start. Not. I don't know that I've even gotten my notification yet, if I'm being honest. Oh, you know what? All right, let's try that again. As it turns out, I did not click the public button, so I'm not sure if any of you got the notifications for that. However, we are going to go ahead and start this over again. Now, it looks like the overall time has not changed, so I don't know. Stream resumed, it looks like. All right, well... welcome back to the stream. If you're just getting the notification, welcome. Our goal today is to go through the remaining character and vehicle purchases left in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. I got Tyler P on the mic just in case you guys didn't catch that first little segment there. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure my microphone and everything is all working. And I better check purchases left in LEGO Marvel Super... nope, I got verification there that it is in fact working, so... hey, welcome to the chat, everybody. I see we got at least Whooper in the chat. Let's see here. I think I can, let me go ahead and give you some, oh, yeah. You just got elevated there, Whoopster. I made you a moderator, which should have been done a long time ago, but yeah, so let's go ahead and kick off this thumbnail here. Welcome to the stream. If you're not familiar with who I am, then what are you doing here? That's weird. I don't know why you'd be watching the stream if you don't know who I am. But hey, we're going to go ahead and buy all of the characters left. I'll go ahead and show you real quick. We've got quite a few that are in the dark. And we got to purchase them with some of our studdage, which hopefully we got enough. We only got 28 billion. I'm not sure that'll make it, but I think it will. What do you think, Tyler? Is that enough? You've already been through all this. How much does it cost? I know a lot of these characters cost like 500,000 or a million or more. I mean, I can't imagine we need 28 billion.
You'll have enough.
That's good.
I would hope so.
That is good to know and good to go. So I figured I'd wait just a minute or two for, you know, a few people to show up. I don't want to buy all these characters all by my lonesome. And now that, you know, eventually this video is going to go public to everybody that didn't make the stream, and if you happen to watch it, you guys will get to see my epic fail at the beginning of the stream. I'm not sure how that works, though. Like, I did recording, and it was there, so I would imagine that it will show in the overall stream at the end, but I guess maybe it just didn't notify everybody because it was private. I don't know. But let's see here. We got 2 people on the stream. I mean, that would be 1 for you probably, Tyler, but that means there's 1. Who else is out there? Come on, drop us a line in the chat. Let us know you're here so we can give you the proper welcome. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I could go ahead and tweet out that we're live now, too, since I've got this fancy button on my stream deck that does it for me. That's right. If you guys don't know, I upgraded and got an Elgato stream deck recently. And I finally got it all programmed, and I'm doing some things with it. So, oh, interesting. It just tweeted out that we are live for Burnout Paradise Remastered. That is not correct. Interesting. I wonder why it tweeted out old info. Like, that's not... I wonder what your notification in... did you get your notification in the sub box yet?
I don't have notifications on.
Huh. What's up, Emmett? My kitty cat Emmett's right here chilling. I don't know. He'll probably make an on-screen appearance here at some point soon. But, alright, well, we got 3 people in the chat now, so I guess I could start doing some of the purchases. So again, the goal of this stream is to go ahead and just showcase all of the remaining characters that we have yet to purchase. We've unlocked them all. As you can see, we've completed all of free play and free roam, as well as the story. And we've completed all the challenges, too, which give us a lot of the vehicles. And in fact, we'll take a quick peek at those vehicles real quick. We purchased a couple of them. We got Gwenpool's motorbike and Captain's 4x4 that we needed for some races. But all the rest remain to be unlocked. Oh, yeah, we also purchased the boat, too. We had to use that boat earlier. Boats and O's, boats and O's. All right, well, okay. I guess I'll go ahead and do this. We're not going to wait all day for nobody to show up. So I guess maybe people aren't interested in watching this. I thought everyone would be super excited, but... All right, first one is A-Bomb. A-Bomb actually comes with 2. So some of these are going to be locked, which kind of freaked me out because I'd already completed everything. And some were showing locked. And I had to consult with my guide writer, Tyler P. here, to inform me that these actually are variants of some of the characters. So in some cases, like A-Bomb, he has an alias, kind of an alter ego, Rick Jones. And so when you purchase A-Bomb, who was unlocked, it actually gives us Rick Jones as well. I'm Rick Jones! Let's go ahead and select him and take a quick peek at what he can do. Oh, that's right. Oh, he gets all burly. He's actually rather intimidating, if I'm being honest. Let's go ahead and check out his comment card real quick. I don't know much about A-Bomb. Turns out A-Bomb's got a whole bunch of things. He's strong. He's got toxic gas, stealth, strength, wall climbing. But notably captured by aim. Ooh, cell pattern still. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Hulk-like creature. Yep. However, Rick's will prove too strong to be. Oh, no way. All right, so cool. So he's an ally then. That's good. That's good. I wasn't sure if he was good or bad because he kind of looks intimidating. But first appearance, Incredible Hulk #1. That goes way back. The Wayback Machine. All right, Adam Warlock. Hey, what's up, Adam? Glad you could make the stream. Happy Good Friday to you as well. Yeah, it's actually quite lovely here in Salem today. The weather is nice. I might even actually wash my car. Let's see here. All is good in DC. That's great. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go through all the characters today. I don't know if we'll do any smashing and banging and booming with them, but we're certainly going to check out their backstory and some of their abilities. So, next up, we got Adam Warlock. Hey, look at that. Adam. Good timing, Adam. Ho, ho, ho. Let's see here. Warlock is going to cost us 250,000 studs. And what you got, Adam? Flip your card around. I wish it would automatically flip to the backside so I could actually just read the profile and whatnot. He's got all sorts of things. Looks like toxic goo, flight, smash walls, strength, fire protection. Like I said, we're not going to go through all of those because that would just be super tedious. But we're going to go through the character profile. So, let's see. Warlock was artificially created by a group known as the Enclave, who are aiming to create the perfect human being. Well, duh, I already exist, guys. Come on. I didn't even get a comment from Tyler on that one. He must be really into that Far Cry 5. Looks like
No, I'm watching.
Initially having troubled run-ins with Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, taking time to learn his way, he eventually became a member of the Guardians and even defeated Thanos. Whoa, a little spoiler alert for Infinity War, huh? Maybe? I don't know. I know we get to see Mr. Thanos. I don't know if that'll be relevant to the movie or not. I'm sure some of you know. Yep, Adam and Adam, woohoo! All right, 2 down and like, what, 146 to go or something like that? But who's counting, right? All right, next up is Agent Coulson. He's going to cost us 50K. I know a little bit about old Agent. He is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And let's see here. What's his ultimate backstory here? And I wonder what kind of character powers he has. Let's see here. He's got shield mode. All right. He's also got target. Okay. Beam deflect. Okay, I guess I didn't realize. I guess it makes sense that he has a shield as being kind of like the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if he's really the leader, but he's one of the main guys. Let's see here. And formerly known as Nick Fury's right-hand man, Coulson. Okay, so I guess Fury is higher power. See, I don't know a lot. I try to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but then it totally puts my foot right in my mouth for me. So after Hydra's attempt to subvert it within Tahiti, that sounds like a nice little vacation I could use. With a task force dedicated to dealing with abnormal situations, eventually becoming the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh yeah, so there we go. So I was kind of right, just the wrong order there. Battle Scars #1, 2012. So he's not that old in the MCU when it comes down to things. Let's see here. Let's see. We got a couple more people in the chat. Welcome. If you guys have any questions or any specific things that you'd like me to check out or do, let me know. Next up is Agent Venom. We earned him over in Nueva York, if memory serves me correctly. And he was actually required to open one of the Gwenpool missions. And he's going to cost us $250K. And I don't know, he's pretty squirrely. You got anything to say about Agent Venom there, Tyler? You got anything to add? Who was your favorite character that you unlocked?
I really like that Spider-Man Noir.
Did you?
I think he was my favorite.
Yeah. How did you like the web flinging abilities, like the way you travel? Like, did you prefer web flinging over flying, or did you like flying better?
I prefer flying. I didn't mind the web slinging. It just the web slinging really sucked for the
races. Yeah, see, I was terrible at it. Like, I had a heck of a time trying to like get where I needed to go. And there was like, you know, he'd throw that like extra little flare into it on every third shooting or whatever, and it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of off for me. But see here, Agent.
Yeah, you had to really anticipate it.
And I was terrible at it. My timing was off, so. Let's see, Agent Venom Flash Thompson. Okay, after losing his legs. Oh, that sucks. Serving his country in the military. Oh, okay, well, rightfully so. Flash Thompson was enlisted into Project Rebirth 2.0, the new super soldier program using a combination of sedatives and sheer force of will. He bonded to the alien symbiote, creating Agent Venom. Nice. Our Spider-Man amplified beyond even Parker strength levels. So, you know, I saw when I went to the movie yesterday, I saw Ready Player One, for those of you who didn't catch that. Great movie, but there was actually a preview for a new, I guess it was a new show, an animated show coming out, and it was like what was it, the Spidey World or something? Like, it was a whole bunch of different Spider-Men and the different, and it shows like, I believe it was Miles, and he like finds out there's other Spider-Man out there, and he's like, how many are there? And like, it was pretty cool. It was an animated series, I believe. Some of you probably know something about that, but. Hey, how's the quality of the audio and video out there? Is there anything I can do to make it better? Or is it pretty good out there? Just asking. And, you know, how am I doing? Is the stream going okay?
It's fine on my end.
Okay. All right, so next up we got America Chavez. This one was a little bit weird. We unlocked this guy or gal over in the Wild West, and I remember being like, who in the heck is America Chavez? But let's go ahead and find out. So we went ahead and purchased, I believe. Uh-oh, I didn't look. Oh, it's 500K. 500K. And let's see here. I like her outfit. Rather stylish. A little red, white, and blue representing, huh? We got toxic gas, flight, smash walls. Okay. She can do dirt. Teleportation, sweet deal. Raised in the utopian parallel, America Chavez set out to prove herself. So she is like future times. This is not like old school. She is like ahead of our time. So fighting battles with the Teen Brigade and the Young Avengers. Oh, she's blowing kisses at me. That was weird. I heard it in my headphones. It was like, what is going on? But it turns out it was just her. She was once described by Loki as one mysterious interdimensional superhero with mysterious background and mysterious anger issues. Wow. That's kind of a long description there, is it not? Anyways. Alright, well, I guess I know a little bit about her now. She's from the future. Next up, we got Ant-Man. We unlocked Ant-Man regular at one point. And looks like Ant-Man Classic is also available for $250,000. Now, I probably should have taken some notes. I guess we can always go back and reference the stream start. But I had like 28 billion, or maybe 29 billion. And now we're actually into 20. I don't know if we're going to make it, Tyler. We only got 28 billion. Ant-Man Classic's going to ring us in $250K. And we'll go ahead and switch on over. Oh, nice. A little bit different than the standard costume, huh? Hey, what's up there, Ghost Gamer? Welcome to the stream! Yeah, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about shoutouts, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of remind you guys of our policy on shoutouts. Now, we're going to, of course, always welcome any new viewer to the stream that makes themselves apparent by posting in the chat. And, of course, if you're wanting a shout-out beyond that, we do have a Patreon account that is tied into our game breaks. Now, we've kind of been slacking on the game breaks the last couple of months, but we're going to get back on that. Probably, I think we're going to try to do one for April. That's the goal. We are kind of settled in, don't have any vacations planned next month, so it shouldn't be a problem. And if you guys are looking for shout-outs, it's certainly a way to get your name out in the Happy Thumbs Gaming lore. Hey, what's up, Dom? Welcome to the stream. What up, what up? All right, Ant-Man Classic. Let's take a quick look. We got standard stuff. He can get smell. And it looks like he's got repair, too. Yeah, he's got repair, acrobat, so he can do the twirly pulls, targeted lunge. Ooh, that's cool. I like the targeted lunge stuff. After discovering a rare group of subatomic particles, Hank Pym created a serum which allowed him to change the size of people and objects. Testing it himself, he found that he had shrunk to the size of an insect. Woohoo! That'd be pretty cool. And Ant-Man is one of my favorite, Marvel movies. It is awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. Let's see here. Yeah, he's also able to manipulate ants, which is pretty cool. It looks like this first appearance was back in 1962, so he is no spring chicken anymore. He is quite the old dude. You guys want to check out Ant-Man as well? I mean, I guess we could go ahead and give him a quick peek. Most of you guys have probably already seen him. Now, all the other characters that we've unlocked, I don't really plan on going through them and checking them out. What does he say here on him? Flip the card over to the back. Struggling to support his family, Scott Lang. Okay, so this is the second generation of Ant-Man. Hank Pym passes the torch down to Scott, which is what the Ant-Man movie was all about. Yep, he unknowingly steals it in the movie and ends up testing it out and becoming the Ant-Man. And I just paraphrased all that. Looks like first time we see him is 1979, so just a year after I was born, for all of those out there who know that I'm old. So here, don't forget to see the movie. Yeah, no, Adam, I haven't got a chance to go see it yet. I know I went and saw Ready Player One. I went and saw that because I read the book. Huge fan of Ready Player One. I will see Black Panther eventually. It'll probably be once it comes out on Blu-ray or UHD, but let's see here. That movie's been getting a lot of praise. Yeah, I would say so, Dom. I really like that movie, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he is hilarious. He's like one of the accomplices. What's the guy's name, Tyler? Do you remember? You know, the little Hispanic guy that's always he's just like me. You ask him for like a short story, and we give you like every single detail possible in the story. so a short story becomes a long story. But he kind of makes the comedic presence there for me. Welcome to the stream, Tony. Nice to see ya. All right, next up we've got Arachnido Jr. 500K is all he's gonna cost us, and he is another variation of Spider-Man. Let's see. Let's find out a little bit more about him, as I don't know a lot. I do believe he's from the future as well. And let's flip that card around and see what's going down, huh? All right, so he's got hyper jump. See, I like that. That's one of the cool things I like about those guys. The hyper jump off the wall and the wall climbing. I thought the wall climbing was a nice little touch, too. Grapple, enhanced senses, acrobat, tightrope, little tight pants Joey. That's right. Speaking of tight pants Joey, ironically, he actually texted me right before this started. So some of you who've been watching the Lego stuffs for a long time, I always refer to the tight roping as tight pants Joeying. But anyways, he actually texted me. I hadn't heard from him in quite a while. So, what up, Joey, if you're watching? Arachnido Jr. was the son of a wrestler of the same name, duh, hence the Jr., who developed spider-like powers and put them to use after the death of his father in a fixed wrestling match. That's not good. Dressed in a costume based on his father's wrestling persona, Jr. had become the protector of Mexico City and was recruited into the Spider Army during the events of Spider-Verse. So maybe that's what that show was called. Yep. Hey, welcome, Rob. We are indeed doing the character purchasings. Yeah, Spider-Verse, I believe, was that animated series I was talking about that I saw the preview for at Ready Player One yesterday. So, looks like Arachnito Jr. has no alias, so it's kind of a bummer. Kind of takes away from his super awesomeness. All right, Arnim Zola is up next, and we've seen Arnim a couple of times in the MCU and in games. He's going to cost us 250K. I don't know a ton about old Arnim, but let's go ahead and do some background storage. He's got, he's like Teletubbying it up. He's got that, he's got his belly down in, I guess his face is down in his belly is what I'm trying to say, but. Let's see here. We got technology. He's got the ability, mind control, repair, and toxic gas. What's up, Emmett? Oh, so a little story about my cat, Emmett. He loves to sit in drawers. And right now, because of me having a fan on the window on over there, I have my drawers open to kind of block my microphone. Hopefully, it'll drown out some of that fan sound. But he loves to jump up in them and sleep in them. So I'll have to give you guys a shot of that if he does in fact jump up there. He's thinking about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. A brilliant and gifted scientist, Arnim Zola used his genius to aid Baron Zemo and the Red Skull in their efforts against the Allied forces during World War II. After an experiment went wrong, Zola transferred his mind into a robotic body that allowed him to emit forms of electricity and mind rays from his ESP box atop its head. He soon joined Hydra and has been a loyal supporter ever since. Hail Hydra! Let's see here. Captain America, 1977. So, long-time foe of the universe as well. Let's see here. Got 100%, but no Chivo for all the races all complete. Huh. And you got, Tony, did you get the races up on, like, Atalan and stuff, too? There was those couple on the edge that spawn, or that popped up late. You know, sometimes I wonder how that 100% meter is actually like what it's counting. Like, is it counting everything? I mean, that 100%, that's what it should, but I don't know if that's always the case. There's definitely been like some trophy achievement stuffs that seem like they should have been related to 100% that weren't, but they weren't. So anyhow, next up we got Arizona Girl, 150,000 studs. We unlocked her for doing we had a little horse roundup over in the Old West, and looks like she is appropriately dressed. Let's go ahead and check her out. I guess I haven't switched to the last couple of characters on screen here. Yeehaw! She is the most rootinest, tootinest gal we've seen so far. We'll go ahead and flip over her card and see what's cracking. Let's see here. Oh, that was weird. It started me all the way down low. What kind of, she's got target, silver Lego blow up, and she can get her twirly pole on as well. She's a crack shot on the run from lawmen and outlaws alike. Arizona Annie had a short fuse when it came to the contempt of men who underestimated her. She loved proving them wrong, as she often did with her companion Kid Colt. Annie has had many adventures across the Wild West, at one point even saving a town from shape-changing aliens. Wild West, 1948. Wow, she is old school. And all right, well, Tony, I don't know. Tyler, do you have any suggestions for Tony? I don't know if you heard me say that. He has completed the game 100%, but he did not get the achievement for the races. Is there anything that you know of or he could possibly try that might give him another chance at getting that?
I'm not too sure, but I could find out.
That'd be awesome.
I know a lot of people have had issues with the game. Like glitching out and stuff.
Yeah, he's also asking when the new DLC is coming out. Now, Tyler and I don't have a for sure date yet, as Warner Brothers has not officially announced it. But being that the trophy achievements have already been added in the last update to the game, we do believe that they should be probably next week. We think it should be added on Tuesday. Now, don't hold your breath, but you know, I would definitely expect to see it Tuesday, and if not Tuesday, the following, because they always add those in an update really close to when they're releasing, and it came actually about 10 days ago. So, oh, Emmett made the jump. He's up there. Let's see here. Oh, he settled down. Oh, you guys don't care. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, thanks. Yeah, no worries. I got you. When you had the Q in there, I knew what you meant. In fact, I've had a rough day of spelling myself. When I started my day chatting with Tyler on Skype, yeah, things were not coming out appropriate, or not appropriately, but they're inappropriate. They just weren't spelled correctly. How about that? All right, next up we got a Tuma. It's not a Tuma. We actually unlocked him already. I don't know much about him though, so let's go ahead and check him out.
The time of a Tuma is finally.
Oh, that's weird. It's finally what? Did you hear that? He like stopped. He said the time of a Tuma is finally. Kind of left me hanging there. I don't know if I like that or not. What do we got on the back here? What you got? What you got? Character profile. He was captured by barbarians as a child and raised in slavery. He grew to become a barbarian warlord himself and has at points conquered and ruled Lemuria. Okay, yeah, I guess I knew that. Through incredibly strong and powerful, his power it wanes away from water. Okay, so Fantastic Four, 1964. So he's old school too. Interesting. All right, Aunt May. We all know who Aunt May is, and I think it's pretty funny how they make jokes. Like Tony has kind of got the hots for her in Spider-Man Homecoming. Oh, that's pretty funny. Anyways, Aunt May, what do you got? Does she have any powers at all? Ooh, she has. Oh, she's got Target. Okay, she can maybe whop people with her purse or something. May, along with her husband Ben, took in and raised their nephew Peter after the death of his parents. She was instrumental in the formation of Peter's good-natured character and his subsequent foray into crime fighting. Aunt May later became aware of Peter's secret life as Spider-Man, and while initially worried for his safety, is proud of the hero he has become. Aunt May made her first appearance back in 1962 in The Amazing Fantasy number 15. So, pretty crazy. She is old school. We all know who Aunt May is, though. That's one. So, ooh, Aisha. Now, but you guys may have remembered I made some references to a song back from my childhood from another bad creation. Aisha. Anyways, all right, let's see. Tyler says, be sure to double check everything. So we do have a list of the 100% over at our website. As sad as it is, LEGO games have a history of glitching out, and that is 100% true. Unfortunately, you know, there may be a need to replay all of that again. You know, of course, you could probably get through most of it by skipping the free play and just going specifically for the races, but man. Let's see here. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Liam, pump it up. What's up? Let's see here. I am not going to be platinuming the game in this stream. Tyler and I discussed this prior to. Essentially, there are, let's see here, on my list, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 trophy achievement videos that I'm going to do separately. Now, I thought about doing them in this video, but because we have nothing else going on in the gaming world, or at least for us, we don't have any other videos planned, so I'm going to kind of stretch those out over the next couple of days as well. Now, I'm going to be doing some more live streams as well. I'm going to be playing some more Burnout Paradise. We are going to check out some Fortnite and possibly some other games as well. If you guys have any requests, please let us know, and we'll at least cater the idea. We're think about it. We'll think about it. What you doing there, Emmett? All right, Aisha, 150K. What's up, Jesse? Welcome to the stream. So Aisha looks like she is she part of the Cree? Let's see here. She is gold. All right, she's got hyper jump, flight, smash, acrobat, strength, target too. All right. Initially also known as Paragon, was created at the attempt to perfect the process that had created Adam Warlock. Okay, so that was A-Bomb. We already figured that out. However, it too failed, and Aisha also proved too powerful to control, and she broke free of her containment, a super being of immense power. She has spent much of her time seeking Adam Warlock with the aim to create a race of super beings. She's saying what I think she's saying. Anyways, a little bit of, let's see here. First appearance, Incredible Hulk, annual number 6, 1977. Did anyone else create HappyThumbsGaming besides me? Actually, that is a great question, Adam. Yes. Long ago, the whole thought of HappyThumbsGaming was actually brought to me by a fellow clan member. I used to run an online clan that we competed, and we played SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, for the PlayStation 2, and I was a leader, and we competed competitively for, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years on a couple of different platforms, game battles, SOCOM battles before that, and of course Urgent Fury. It became our final home. Shout out to Urgent Fury, what up? But anyways, during that time as a leader, I had one of my co-leaders step up and suggest that maybe there was a future in trophy achievement videos. So he and I sat down because we kind of both had the skill sets needed to make something like this happen. And he and his wife and I kind of created the whole concept of this. And eventually, as time would go on, he got married, he had a kid, he became an officer in the Navy and then went to flight school, and so he is pretty busy on his day-to-day, and he eventually made me an offer to buy him out, and I accepted that, and I bought him out. So HTG Jeremy, what's up if you're out there? Been a while since I've seen or heard from you, but I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, Jeremy is, I haven't talked to him in quite some time, actually. I don't think I've even talked to him this year. It's probably October or something like that. But yeah, he's out there. Of course, Doug's been around for a long time too. He's been instrumental to helping me out. Mark was a key factor in the beginning as well. Tyler, my brother, not Tyler B, but Tyler, my brother, he was also, he helped me write and do some things in the early days. And then, of course, we found Tyler P. We've had a few other guys. Mal was around helping us stream and did a few videos for us. Brian, we had another Brian P. as well. So yeah, we've definitely had a crew over the years, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of people. We had a couple of people show up to do some reviews, and I even had a couple of people that went through the interview process. We really liked what they were bringing to the table. We gave them a couple of free games to review, and we never got anything back either. So there's been a few of those situations. And that being said, we are looking for some people to review some kind of indie games, smaller stuff, maybe even some mobile games. We get stuff almost every day sent to us, and we just don't have the time or the resources to cover everything. So if you're into things like that and you got some extra time, drop me a line somewhere and let me know. Let's see here. Tony, yes, we have information on 2 upcoming Lego games. One is actually the Lego Incredibles. It's due June 15th. I believe it's July 10th? Man, I'd have to check my notes on that again. It comes out in the UK about a month after the US, which is super unfortunate. At least that was the last report I heard. That could have changed, and hopefully it does. But yeah, and then we also have DC Supervillains that's going to be out later this year. There's not a lot of information on that out, but it has been leaked, and it has been confirmed by WB and TT Games. So we got Baron Zemo. We already know he's a bad guy related to old Arnim Zola, who we talked about a few minutes ago. And next up, we got Beta Ray Bill. He is going to cost us 500,000 studs. And we'll go ahead and... Oh, look at that. Watch out for them chompers. He looks like he sees the dentist quite frequently, as his teeth are ever so white and shiny. Look at that. Watch out. And take a bite out of crap. Oh, wait a minute. He's missing a few. That's interesting. So, all up front, not much in the back. It looks like he is related to Thor somehow, doesn't it? I don't know much about Beta Ray Bill, so we'll go ahead and flip it around and see. Yep, he's got electricity. Yep, the kind of the wings and it kind of has that Thor-like presence. Hyper jump, strength, target, teleportation. Sweet, sweet. All right, after a misunderstanding that led to the Corbinite, known as Bill, to defeating Thor in battle, he was granted powers matching that of Thor by Odin. Ooh. And even had his own hammer, Stormbreaker. That's so much easier to say than Mjolnir. See, I don't even know how to say it. Let's see here. He uses his powers to protect his people and aid the Asgardians, becoming a staunch ally. What is a staunch? Tyler, what's staunch? Google that for me, will you? Find out what staunch is. I have no idea what staunch. He was even willing to lay down his life for them during the events of Ragnarok. So, that might be something to do with the Ragnarok. So I haven't seen Ragnarok. I've got it. I haven't seen it yet, though. First comic appearance.
Staunch, loyal and committed in attitude.
So it's like an adjective to ally. So it's like a descriptive. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's basically, he was a really good friend, is what staunch ally means. Okay, I get it. All right, I see. So I guess they were referring to the Asgardians when they were talking like that. All right, moving along. Boy, we are not making very good ground here. We've got a lot to go. Let's see here. Black Cat, 150K. What's up with you, Black Cat? Let's take a quick peek at her. And oh, it looks like she is in a colder region as her suit kind of has some fluffiness to it, at least so it would appear. Oh, she's got a nice laugh. I like her little chuckle. She seems kind of snarky, if I'm being honest. Let's see here. She is inspired by her father, a noted cat burglar. Felicia Hardy took a life to crime using her brilliant athletic skills, calling herself the Black Cat. Smitten with Spider-Man after a chance meeting, she now often toes the line between criminal and going straight, frequently putting herself into conflict with him. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 194 back in 79. So also another old-timer like myself. Interesting. All right, next up, we've got Black Knight. You can see here, this is one of those ones that has multiple variations. So looks like we've got two that we need to purchase. One Black Knight Sir Percy and one Black Knight Dane Whitman. And I'm assuming that once we purchase both or one of those, it's going to go ahead and unlock this third area here. We'll find out though, right? Black Knight Sir Percy, 150k, and Black Knight. Well, let's take a look at Sir Percy first. We saw him earlier. We did a mission for him.
Are there any more knaves that wish to test
we saw
me
him.
this
I don't remember
day?
exactly what we did. Oh, he's... Uh-oh. I thought he was going to swallow that sword. Okay, good thing. That's not very safe. Sword swallowing, that is. Unless you're really talented. Giggity. Moving along from that, though, let's flip the card around the backside. Let's see here. Toxic goo protection. He's got a bunch of stuff. He served King Arthur as his greatest warrior when he was recruited by Merlin, gaining the secret identity of the Black Knight. He wielded the Ebony Blade, a magical sword forged from meteorite by Merlin, and used it to defend Camelot against many threats. He deemed his descendant Nathan Garrett unworthy as his successor, and instead passed the Ebony Blade on to his nephew Dane Whitman. Alright, Black Knight number 1, 1955, was his first appearance as the Black Knight. Alright. What's up, Apex Predator? Welcome to the stream! Lego Incredibles comes out June 15th. What's your favorite Disney movie? Mine, without a doubt, is The Lion King. For Pixar, it's hard for me to choose. They're all great. Yeah, very true. Hey, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I got to step off for just a hot second. I will be right back, though. Don't worry, I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. I apologize for this. I'll try not to do this again, but I got to do it. So, one hot second. And yes, I will be right back, Tyler. Alright, I'm hoping that, let's see here. Whoa. Let's go back over here. Alright, I should be back. I'm hoping that everything is good. I may have to cut out, which was not the plan, but, yeah, something has come up, so we'll see what happens. Alright, next up, let's see here. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream, Ray. We got Black Knight Dane Whitman, 150k. Let's go ahead and purchase him up. Take a quick peek. And everything's good. You can hear me right, Tyler?
I can hear you.
Just making sure. All right, Dane Whitman, what you got? What you got? The nephew of previous Black Knight, Nathan Garrett, Dane discovered the ebony blade in his castle and passed its test. Dane took the weapon and became the new Black Knight, hoping to become a hero. He infiltrated the Masters of Evil, aiming to aid the Avengers as the Black Knight. Dane Whitman earned the trust of the Avengers and has become a valued member of the team. First appearance, Avengers number 47, as Dane Whitman, back in 1967. All right, and look at that. It officially unlocked. Whoa, wait a minute. Where's it? Heck, there's only two. Sir Percy, Dane Whitman, Nathan Garrett. Oh, no, it unlocked Dane Whitman. Oh, wait, no, it didn't. What is going on here? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm moving along because I can't figure it out. So, and I wasn't getting any feedback from Tyler either. So, moving along. Let's see here. What is your favorite Marvel movie? That is a great question, Apex. I'm going to go with... Gosh, I don't know. I will say that it seems like every one I do watch, it gets better. Like there's more comedy, there's more action, the story is tying together. Like, I'm really looking forward to wrapping everything up in the final Avengers. Well, I guess not the final, but the next Avengers movie, Infinity War. But let's see here. What we got? We got Black Widow 150. What's your favorite movie, Apex? I like them all. It's really hard to say. I feel like Spider-Man was great. I feel like they're all good. I don't know if I have a favorite. So Black Widow, we are familiar with her. We'll go ahead and skip on because everybody knows who Black Widow is, right? It gave you Nathan. Well, which one though? So it gave me Nathan Garrett. That was the one it gave me. So I bought Sir Percy and I bought Dane and it gave me Nathan. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for squaring that up for me, Jesse. I appreciate it. Let's see here. We got Blade up next. Now, this was kind of a surprise for me when I came across him in the free roam. Like, I didn't realize. I mean, I should have known, but I never really thought of Blade as a Marvel character. Like, I've seen the movies and definitely looks like the character I'm familiar with. And, but I guess I never really put it together that Blade was part of Marvel. And I don't know why. I don't know. They're Marvel movies, right? Let's see here. Eric's mother was attacked by a vampire as he was born, giving him many of the supernatural advantages of the vampire while not being transformed himself. After training with a vampire hunter, he began calling himself Blade, and now puts his gifts to use, hunting vampire down where he can. First appearance, number 10 of Tomb of Dracula back in 1973. Also goes by Eric Brooks, if you were wondering. Next up, we've got Blue Marvel. Let's see here. What's up, Henrik? Will you ever go back to completing the rest of the old Lego games you haven't finished yet, like you did with Lego Harry Potter? Well, yeah. So, we did Lego Harry Potter 1 through 4 pretty long after it released. We were still playing on the PS3 at that time. We ended up kind of skipping out on 5 through 7 due to the fact that we just don't really play the PS3 very often. It's kind of complicated getting all that hooked up to record. And being such an older game, we just don't know what the views and what the need for it is. So, then when the remastered came out for PS4, we certainly felt like it was worth doing again because a lot of you guys who had played it on the PS3 were going to be replaying it, or some of you who had never played it now had incentive to play it on the new console. So we felt like that was a really smart move, and we've kind of looked into doing some of the other ones. Tyler and I have talked about Indiana Jones 2. Why not 1? Well, because no trophies for it. I've heard that there's achievements. I have not confirmed that yet. But I do feel like, there is definitely some potential for those. But I just don't know when we're going to do it. Let's see here. Hey, Rashad, however you say it. Let's try and keep it clean, man. I appreciate your support. I love the fact that you've been around since the Final Fantasy videos. Holy cow. But I cannot allow that in our chat just because I got to keep the chat clean. So, hey, welcome to the stream, and glad to have you. Welcome. But let's try and keep it clean in the chat. Next up, we got Blue Marvel, 250K. I know absolutely nothing about Blue Marvel. I'm assuming, yep, blue costume. Oh, we got some grayage going on there. For those of you who can't really see, I've got kind of the gray kind of peeling out there myself, so I definitely feel for the Blue Marvel. All right, speeding things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and flip it around back. We're going to skip over all of the abilities and just check out the profile. A child prodigy and veteran of the Marine Corps, Brasher led. Oh, Adam Brashear is his real name. Led a project of harnessing antimatter subject to mutagenic radiation. When it went awry, he developed superhuman abilities as he became a stable antimatter reactor. He has saved the world numerous times as a part of the Mighty Avengers and continues to do so as a member of the Ultimates. See, I don't know much about the Ultimates either. Adam, Legend of Blue Marvel #1 back in 2009 is when. So he's actually a rather new piece to the MCU. Bowman, we know Bowman. We've seen you around. What's up, Bruce Banner? Old West. Let's check this guy out. He's going to cost us 10K, and he's old school. Look at that. Let's see here. You just finished Lego Indiana Jones 2 last Saturday. Well, what did you think? Is it fun? Is it big? I was trying to do some research on it. I couldn't really tell. I feel like it might be a little too old to do. I know they got it on PS Now, which was probably how we would play it, but it isn't 100% sure that we're going to go back that far. All right, so I've been streaming for 46 minutes, and I've only done about 10 guys. So maybe we won't get them all done in one stream. Maybe we'll have to do 2 streams, huh? What do you think, Tyler? Should I stretch it out and make it like a 10-hour day? Bruce Banner was a mild-mannered apothecary working in the town of Timely when Mayor Fisk and Governor Roxon's corruption took hold. Seeing his friends Sheriff Rogers and Anthony Stark take up the fight, Bruce used his alchemical knowledge to transform himself into a powerful green-skinned monster, joining the fight against injustice. First appearance, 1872, #1, 2015, as Bruce Banner. So, weird that he, I don't know, must have gotten thrown in a time machine or something, but... All right, it's actually very simple compared to... Hey, Michael, welcome! What time is it where you are? Is it late or is it early? I know you're in a huge time difference from us. But welcome to the stream. Hey, no worries. No worries. No, we're all good in the chat. Just like I said, if we keep it clean. I still remember those if they were published yesterday. Yeah, Jeremy was actually the one who did those videos. I've never really gotten into the Final Fantasy stuffs. Jeremy was big into that, though. You know, Jeremy was the other co-creator of Happy Thumbs. We actually kind of touched on that a little bit ago. And he was the man when it came to those games. Like Devil May Cry. There was a few of those games that he was just beastly at. And we kind of miss having those videos on the channel, if I'm being honest. Let's see here, just a thought, but maybe they will re-release. Yeah, you never know. Is there a new indie movie coming out? I didn't know there was.
Yeah, they're rumored to be one.
Captain America Civil War is a great one of my favorites as well. But like I said, Apex, they're all pretty awesome. Kira, welcome to the stream. What up? Jakester, hey, welcome. And time is 8:10 p.m., so it's still fairly early in the evening. So Bullseye, Old West, is going to cost us 150K, and he's got kind of an old dapper... Oh, is that a bolo tie he's rocking? He appears to be rocking a bolo tie. He's got target and acrobats. I don't know anything about this guy. A dashing and well-dressed man. Oh, look at that. I was already commenting on how well-dressed he was. Bullseye was one of the hired goons sent into the town timely by Mayor Fisk to deal with Sheriff Rogers. So it's weird. Maybe you guys can help explain this to me. We're talking about, like, you know, we got Old West Banner, we got Old West Bullseye. You know, there's reference to, like, an old Stark. You know, there's reference to Fisk. Like, I'm confused, like, because Manhattan Noir was where I'm familiar with Fisk at, and that's Daredevil, right? And those two are... So what is all this? Was there, like, a time travel or something I'm unaware of, or do you know anything about that, Tyler?
Nope. I don't know much about Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, new sub. What up? Oh, it's too far. I can't read it. I need to change that so I can actually see the new subs and actually shout out the new subs. Let's see here. Michael says he really enjoyed Lego Superheroes, but the race... Yeah, they were. Now, are you talking 1 or 2? Because 1's Lego Superheroes was terrible. 2 was pretty easy. Avengers was improved as well. I would say the easiest of the races was definitely Superheroes 2. 1 was ridiculous, though. There was so many gnarly races in that. DLC in 30 minutes, huh? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Tony, but you got DLC coming, or you know something we don't? All right, next up, Captain America, Peggy Carter, 250K. Let's see here. So they're multiverse, but how does that, like, I know we're in Chronopolis right now, and I get that, But like, how does that play into like the old timey stuff? Like, how does that work? Because we know Fisk is in current day, but he's also in Old West, old school day. So like, I'm just trying to figure out how those two. So you didn't like the race times in 2 either, huh? You felt they were still a little bit too tough. I actually only struggled with like maybe 1 or 2 of them. There was a couple of tough ones, but for the most part, I felt they were pretty forgiving. All right, Captain America Peggy Carter is an alternative universe where Steve Rogers was assassinated before he could become Captain America. His friend Peggy Carter joined the Super Soldier program in his place. Peggy now defends the ideals of freedom and equality as her world's Captain America. Marvel Puzzle Quest game 2013 as Peggy. Okay, so she's relatively new too. I'm 57, completed them in by. Huh. All right. Well, so you're a little bit, you take the cake, Tony. You are officially older than I am. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but you pointed it out. Let's see. Henrik says, knowing comic books, the Old West thing is probably an obscure thing that happened long ago but didn't sell that well. No, it might be, but I think there's definitely, like, you know, this concept of, like, telling stories of current people, and I don't know. It's weird. I get the whole multiverse thing, I guess, but... See here, are there any plans to play Red Dead Redemption 2 when it comes out? Yes, I would love to play it. It's a mature game, and we kind of try to stay away from mature stuff, you know, just because we try to keep it family friendly, but we'll probably get in some Red Dead 2. See, Captain America 2099, 500K, holy cow. Let's see here, 2099, so clearly from the future. Standard Captain America stuff. Roberta Mendez was forcibly subjected to the super soldier serum by her husband and became the leader of Alchemax's Avengers under the codename Captain America. Her abilities match those of Steve Rogers. However, unlike Steve, Roberta is unknowing of her Captain America persona. Weird, so she's unaware that she is awesome. That's crazy. Secret Wars 2099 #1 back in 2015 as Captain America was the first time we saw her, so also a relatively new person. There's a universe where it stays in that time period. So essentially, okay, so for me to put my head around this, Jesse, they've just taken characters that exist in whatever worlds and just recreated a whole new series, basically, right? Like, it'd be like just taking, you know, Hulk and making Hulk old school Hulk or whatever, right? I mean, that's basically all they're doing. I don't know why I get so confused by it. Playlist, some are like, nice. Playlist has 503 total videos. As is my area code. That was also the name of my competitive gaming clan. You know, I talked about that earlier, Adam. 503 was the name of my clan, and it actually started off with people just from Oregon. It was 4 of us that hung out together, that expanded to 10 of us that knew it, that went to like 20 because local people were seeing the 503 tag. And then after time went by, we actually started bringing in people who weren't from 503. Our first non-503 member was actually from Canada, believe it or not. And then they kind of trickled on after that. One of the guys that joined us in the stream yesterday, NWO4L, was actually one of the top 5 people brought into 503 who didn't live in 503. So, a little fun fact for you. Oh, and Kang put them all together. So it has to do, it's basically, so what you're telling me, Jesse, is that the game that I just played is essentially how it all happens. So he uses his abilities to manipulate the multiverse and go to different, and bring it. So I guess that makes sense. So Captain America, or sorry, pump the brakes, Captain Britain, 150K. He's got a nice dapper outfit on. Oh, what is that? He's fitting to club somebody. Something fierce with that. That's awesome. I love his outfit. It's super sweet. And let's see what he's got here. Flip it on over. We've got hyper jump. What is technology? Oh, I don't know why I always get confused. I see a stoplight and I forget that it's technology. But Brian Braddock was a gifted scientist who was mortally wounded and left for dead following a raid on the Darkmoor Research Center. Saved from death by Merlin, he was offered the chance to live and in return become the champion of the protector of Britain, wielding the Star Scepter. Captain Britain uses his powers to defend Britain and the multiverse from evil. First appearance, #1, Captain Britain, back in '76. So, I'm an old timer too. Captain Corbett. And all right, so I don't know anything about Captain Corbett. Let's just go ahead and flip him over real quick. He looks like he's part of the Ringling Barnum Brothers Circus or whatever. Come on. Oh, button. Having troubles with the buttons here. Let's see here. Old school Hulk break. Yeah. Indiana Jones 2 was after Lego Star Wars and Lego Batman. I think it's worth it. It's not too bad. I've 100% all the Lego games. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things, too. I forgot about that. Before Lego Batman 2, none of the games had any kind of character voiceovers. So, you know, going back to, like, Indy or it's all, you know, all these weird sound effects that sometimes sound really weird. All right, Captain Corbett was a member of the Circus of Crime, a band of criminals traveling the country under the guise of a circus. As its animal trainer, he had trained gorilla and bear that he used against his opponents. He often carries a whip. See, I told you I needed that whip sound effect for my soundboard, Tyler. That would have a perfect use of it right there. He often carries a whip in one hand for his animals and a pistol in the other for his enemies. Kid Colt Outlaw number 106, 1962 was the first appearance of him, so also an old timer. All right, next up, Cap Wolf 500K. What you got, Captain Wolf? Let's see here. Standard, looks like standard Captain America stuffs. Ooh, he's even got vine cut. I guess the long fingernails. Character profile. After being injected with a werewolf mutagenic formula by Nightshade, that sounds shady, Captain America was transformed into a werewolf. However, thanks to his super soldier serum enhanced body, he managed to retain part of his mind and stay in control to put an end to a sinister plot. He has returned to normal after being given an antidote. So wait a minute, is he normal as the wolf or is he normal as Steve Rogers? First appearance was 92, back in Captain America, number 405. Boy, they've had over 400 issues of Captain America? That is crazy. I wonder how many of those are actually worth money. I know comics are really weird, and I have some comics out in a box in my garage somewhere that I need to dig out, because I know I've got some good ones. I got like one of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, I got some stuff you didn't even know about, Tyler. I know you heard about all my recent collectibles, all my Lego. You hear about all that stuff all the time, but you didn't know about my old school stuff. All right, next up we got Chipmunk Hunk. Was my nickname in middle school. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. Chipmunk Hunk is... he's got a nice little outfit there. And, you know, I'm not going to go... As it turns out, we've already been at this for an hour, and I'm not even through the first row of characters that we need to go through. So I'm going to kind of speed things up a little bit, and I'm not going to showcase, like, the outfit. I'm not going to spin around the character. We get to see him here in the card. I think that's good enough. If you guys disagree, let me know in the chat, and I can extend this. And we might break it into two streams, as, you know, I was planning on streaming for 2 hours today, but it looks like it's going to be more like 4 unless I speed things up. So, Chipmunk Hunk, after discovering he had animal-like superpowers, is that like, no, I'll leave that one alone. No, I'll leave it alone. Let's see here. After discovering he had animal super-like powers, Thomas fought crime under the name of the Handsome Puncher. After being inspired by Squirrel Girl's confidence, he changed his alias to Chipmunk Hunk, fighting alongside his partner Koi Boy. Thomas later developed a close friendship with Squirrel Girl after helping her defeat an adversary. First appearance was number 1 in 2015, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Crazy. All right, next up, Clea. 150K. Do you have an Xbox One? Yes, I do. I don't have a current live subscription right now. I mean, I don't play the Xbox very often. In fact, it collects a lot of dust, if I'm being honest. But, all right, Clea. She costs us 150K, and what the heck? Pushing the wrong buttons again. No, me and my buttons. You stated in one of your videos that there were complaints about your sound effects. Keep them up. They add to the gameplay. Well, I've actually added some other stuff, too. We've got, you know, when we really have a celebratory moment, we've got the old... we got the air horn that we can throw in there. And, you know, for racing purposes, like yesterday we were playing... you know, Little Burnout Paradise. We kind of decided that we needed to have General Lee horn also, so I went ahead and tossed that into the mix. And of course, I try to make my own little Booyaka Shao kind of overlay, but I did it really quick, so I'm going to improve this. But for now, we've got this guy right here. And it was supposed to say Booyaka Shao, but for some reason on my end, it's not saying it on the stream part of it. So, anyways, just adding some fun stuff to it. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I will continue to add more of my sound effects to that soundboard and keep them in stream as well. And I appreciate your feedback on that, Michael, as I enjoy them. I think they're kind of funny. My son doesn't, but I do. So Anyways, Clea was born in the Dark Dimension. Clea suffered under the rule of Dormammu until she escaped with the help of Doctor Strange. Learning the mystic arts from him, she became equally as capable, if not greater, and eventually chose to return to the Dark Dimension to lead the resistance against Dormammu as Sorceress Supreme. Oh, that's pretty awesome. First appearance was Strange Tales number 126 and 64 as unnamed. So she didn't get a name to begin with, but that's all right. Next up, Colleen Wing, 150K. What you got, Colleen? I'm not familiar with her at all. Ooh. She's looks like she is not dressed for an adventure, as she's white. White gets dirty way too easy in adventures. Whenever I have a white shirt on, I always manage to spill, like, you know, some sort of spaghetti sauce or something on there. Do you have that problem too, Tyler, or is that just me?
No, it's just you.
I guess I need to get good at eating food.
Yeah,
So, Colleen was trained in the arts of the samurai by her grandfather. Colleen was working as a private investigator when she met Iron Fist, befriending him and joining him on many of his exploits as an accomplished martial artist and detective. She regularly proves invaluable to those she chooses to help. Marvel premiere number 19, or 1974, as Colleen Wing was her first appearance. So, pretty sweet. All right, next up we got Cosmo. He is one of the favorites right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Where are
love
my manners?
Cosmo.
Cosmo meant to say hello, hello.
Yeah, hello. I love it. He's the space dog sent into space by the Soviet space program as a test animal. Cosmo ended up drifting through space, eventually arriving in nowhere. At some point, he was mutated, gaining telekinetic and telepathic abilities. A close friend of the hero Nova, Cosmo has gone to become head of security on Nowhere and aids the Guardians of the Galaxy when he can. His first appearance was Nova Volume 4, Number 8 in 2008 as Cosmo, so relatively new hero as well. Next up, Crimson Dynamo is going to cost us 150K. Let's go ahead and flip him around and see what he's got to say. Toxic gas. He's got some other stuff too. Ooh, flight. I did not know that. Dimitri was a trained KGB agent specializing in espionage when he was made the 5th person to wear the Crimson Dynamo armor. See, I didn't even know there was multiple people wearing the armor. Granted superhuman strength and protection along with a variety of weapons in the suit, he served the interest of his country, which has in the past put him at odds with Iron Man. However, more recently, they have worked together and forged a mutual respect. First appearance, Iron Man 109 back in 78. That was a great year. Great year. This is the year I was born, if you didn't know. Indiana Jones came out right before Lego Harry Potter. Yes, it did. And like I mentioned it earlier, Ian, we were actually a little behind when we played the first Harry Potter. We're probably maybe a year and a half, 2 years behind it. And then even longer for the second one. So that being said, now we're like, I think Lego Indiana Jones 2, I believe, was 6 years ago when I was doing the research. I agree with Michael about your sound effects. I too think they're funny. Add to the gameplay. They remind me of some of the game shows that you see. Yeah. See, I try to keep it fun and lively. Yeah, I'm not always entertaining. Sometimes these long videos are kind of stressful and repetitive at times too. And I try to keep it live and fresh, but I also, again, try not to be repetitive. So, sound effects are fun. They, some of them are a little more fun than others. Like the beep, 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 beep. I like that one. That's one of my favorites. All right, Dark Hawk. Whoa, that was almost dangerous right there. 150K. And we'll go ahead and flip his card around and see what he's got. I like his outfit. It's pretty sweet. He's got almost like an Iron Man centerpiece there. Kind of glows. Let's see here. The son of a cop, Chris Powell, happened upon an amulet. I thought it said a mullet at first. That would have been much cooler. He happened upon a mullet that transposed him into the Dark Hawk android armor. Okay. With the powers granting him enhanced strength and vision as well as tools from the armor, he has sworn to use it as an edge against crime. First appearance, Dark Hawk number 1, 1991 as Dark Hawk. So, all right. Hey, we've officially completed the first row. Woohoo! All right, next up we got Dark Star. We had Dark Hawk, now Dark Star. That's gonna run us, I believe it was 250K. My screens aren't matching up right now. No. All right. Oh well, you guys can live without knowing. Let's see, Dark Star was originally known as Lania Petrovna. I don't know if Petrovna. Was born with latent mutant abilities due to her parents being accidentally... That's no good. So apparently she is a subject of... there's a lot of those in this. Let's see here. When her powers manifested in adolescence, Lenya was codenamed Darkstar due to her ability to manipulate the extra-dimensional energy known as the Dark Force. So I kind of feel like they're stealing that from Star Wars, which, you know, yesterday was a pretty epic day for me. As most of you know, I went and actually watched the Ready Player One movie, and then I came home and I caught a early screening of The Last Jedi. So I got to see both of like the two movies I really wanted to see yesterday, which I thought was really cool as well. So I'm feeling pretty accomplished now. I hadn't seen either of those movies, and now I've seen them both. Oh, Adam, you want some trumpet effects, huh? Love it. Let's see. Remind me of Face, the animated host on Nick Jr. Hey, I would love to be a host on Nick Jr. I think I would do all right there. I watched a lot of Double Dare when I was a kid, and it was like one of my favorite shows ever. I miss that. I wish they would do that now. I don't think they have it anymore. If they do, please let me know in there, and that'd be awesome. Let's see here. Electro 2099, 150K. Let's go ahead and see what's up with Electro. We skipped over a couple. We got Dr. Octopus and Dormammu there. We figured if I know who they are, you probably know who they are. They were unlocked during the story, so we've kind of already seen them. Let's see here. Whoa, that's Electro 2099. That's a sketchy little outfit there. Interesting. He clearly does sit-ups on the daily. Doesn't miss leg day either. The Electro of 2099 is, in fact, an android with the powers matching his name, the member of the 2099 Sinister Six. It has been recruited along with its fellow members, the Fist, an offshoot of the evil organization, The Hand. So creative. And brought back in time. First appearance, Spider-Man 2099, Volume 3, number 11, back in 2016. See here, Happy Thumbs wouldn't be Happy Thumbs without the effects. Got to get them all. Yeah, pump it up. Yeah, whoever complained, ignore them. All right, well, I will keep following your lead on that, and I will keep on keeping on with them sound effects. So, next up, we also got Electro. You've seen him. I thought we already got him unlocked. I thought he came prepackaged before with something else. Maybe not. All right, let's see here. Max Dillon. While working on power lines, Max Dillon was struck by lightning. That's double whammy. He's got power in his hand and power from the sky. That's not good. Changing him and his body, allowing him to command and discharge electricity at will. He became a criminal by the name of Electro and found himself facing Spider-Man numerous times, joining the Sinister Six as he attempts to finally best him. Amazing Spider-Man number 9 back in 1964 as Electro. All right. All right, skipping along, we got Electro Noir, and all right, Falcon is up next. We saw Enchantress. We already talked about her. She's looks a little different, but she's the Enchantress from the most recent. Is it Suicide Squad? Yeah, it's Suicide Squad, right? Right? Yes. Well, it was a little brain fart there. Anyways, Falcon, 250K. You know, you're missing some pretty grand opportunities here, Tyler, for some Brian bashing. Which you usually don't miss any opportunities on. Now, you must be really into that game. Is that game treating you?
I'm not even playing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, welcome, Austin Clark. Thank you for your subscription. Hopefully you're watching the stream. If you are, welcome. I love the old, oh, yeah. All right, Falcon was a talented fighter and acrobat. Sam Wilson became Captain America's trusted partner after Cap recruited him from the clutches of the Red Skull, using a wing suit, allowing him to fly, and with his pet bird, Red Wing, he goes by the name of Falcon as a member of the Avengers. First seen, Captain America number 117 in 69, so a long time ago. Oh, Fing Fang Boom. All right, we needed this guy for a trophy achievement. I think it's called Fing Fang Fanboy, I think. Because it cost us 500K, and let's see, I don't know much about him. He is kind of a peculiar looking dude. And he is a shape-shifting dragon-like alien from Kakaranathara. Hopefully I said that right. Fin Fang Foom came to Earth centuries ago, intent on conquest. Hibernating for hundreds of years, he was awoken and eventually had a change of heart, deciding to do good in the world where he could fight injustice alongside his fellow monsters. First appearance, Strange Tales number 89 and 61 as Fin Fang Boom. Do you have a favorite game show? You know, I don't really watch many game shows anymore. You know, I like a lot of them, really, you know. Going back old school, you know, Hollywood Squares was always fun, mainly because there was always the new, you know, celebrities, and they always had funny banter in between them and up and down, you know, all that stuff. It was a good show. I really liked old school, what was it called? Newlyweds. Newlyweds was awesome. You know, he used that word whoopee so often, and every time he said it, it made me laugh. I don't remember who the host said, Pat something. It wasn't Sajak. Who was it? Anyways, good stuff. I don't really watch a lot of TV in general. Like, people ask me all the time, too, like, who's your favorite YouTube star? I don't really watch YouTube. Like, I spend so much time creating content. Like, all my free time goes to creating rather than watching. So I rarely watch. If I did have to pick one YouTuber that I would say that is my favorite, you know, I've idolized Casey Neistat for a long time, long before YouTube was a big thing, long before his YouTube channel. I actually found out about him and his brother Van on an HBO documentary a while ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And it was great. It mesmerized, like, their creativity, the lo-fi creativity that they have. And what I mean by that is, like, I always have a standard. Like, I won't do something if I can't hit a certain mark, like a certain level of, like, proficiency, or, you know, some sort of, like if a graphic is too low res or terrible, I won't use it. And I've always felt that way. And these guys would not be deterred by those types of things. So if they couldn't afford a big fancy graphic or some sort of artist to paint something, they would take, like, paper and cut it up and wrappers, and they would make these cool little animated things, and it would just mesmerize. And so, that being said, Casey's probably my favorite YouTuber, but I don't really watch TV or YouTube or any of that stuff, really. Bob Eubanks, all right, good. That was it. Yeah, that's definitely who it was. I remember that. You know, it was just one of those things that I don't even remember why I started watching. I think my grandma watched it. I think she was into that. She was single and thought it was fun to watch it and laugh at these newlyweds. But anyways, totally, let's get back on track here. Forbush Man, this was a guy I was really curious about. He has a very suspect-like name. Not really sure what's going on there. At least he is, sounds like he's not against Bush. Sounds like he's for Bush, and I'm not sure what that really means. So let's go ahead and flip his character card around and see. He wears a pot on his head, which I think is crazy. Let's see here. He's got beam deflect. That's it. He's pretty useless. A wannabe superhero with no actual superpowers. Makes total sense now. Irving wore a costume made up of red long johns, emblazoned. I'm not even sure what that word is. With an F, emblazoned. What is it? Emblazoned. With an F, it's yes, and a cooking pot on his head, eye holes in the front. Despite his lack of powers or experience, he has remarkably overcome a number of superpowered villains, even if it was all purely accidental and mostly thanks to sheer dumb luck. First appearance, not Brand Eck. Is it H or Eck? Anyways, number 5 as the Forbush Man, 1967, so quite a long time ago. All right, next up we got Red Hulk. You can see he's got a locked spot here too. My guess is going to be some sort of version of Bruce Banner. So let's go ahead and pay the $150K. And oh, look at that, it's General Ross. So I was wrong. Fail. All right, Red Hulk is awesome. He is not green, so let's go ahead and see if it tells us why. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross is a general in the U.S. Air Force seeking revenge against his nemesis, the Hulk. Ross made him a deal in Supervillain. Okay, so going back to the old Edward Norton Hulk movie, so like late 90s, early 2000s, I guess, probably early 2000s. You know, is that who the other character, the arch nemesis, was in there? I don't remember the guy's name. He was another human. He wasn't very cool. Then he got injected, and then he became real cool. General Ross, what do you got? I guess this is just the human version of him. Yeah, so okay, so this was the dad. So this was Bruce's girlfriend's father. So a little different than the movie, I guess. But I guess I get the storyline and put it all together there. All right, next up, Ghost Rider. We know who he is. Let's go ahead and spend that big chunk of cheese and see what he's got. Go ahead and flip that card around. And what's up out there? We got a handful of you in the chat. Not a lot of action going on, though. Anybody got any questions or requests or anything you'd like to see? And it doesn't have to be for this particular game right now, either. Abomination, huh? Is that something specific? Or what do you mean by that? Is that... I don't know. Ghost Rider is a motorcycle stunt rider. Johnny Blaze made a pact with Mephisto in an attempt to save his ill father's life. However, he was tricked and found himself transformed into a skeletal being with a flaming skull known as the Ghost Rider. With his flaming motorcycle and chain in hand, he rides the land looking to punish the wicked, powered with his new superhuman abilities. I enjoyed these movies. Nicolas Cage was interesting as Johnny Blaze, but... I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people weren't a big fan of it. What did you think? Did you like the Ghost Rider movies, Tyler? Was there one or two?
I've only
Yeah,
seen
I was
the
gonna
one.
say I feel like there was two, but I only saw the one too. But
I've only seen the one with Nicolas
I feel like
Cage.
there was a sequel to that. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see here. I really like your videos. I'm Brazilian. My English is not very good. What's the next Lego game you'll bring? Gabriel, your English seems amazing. I don't know if you spent a lot of time editing that, but that came out perfect. You even had the right apostrophes and everything. So props to that, and welcome. I'm in the west coast of the United States, so we are quite a ways away from each other. But the next Lego game that we plan on seeing for sure is going to be Lego Incredibles, which actually comes out June 15th in the United States. And Adam already told me once before when it comes out in the UK, but I forgot. That's the villain you think you were up against. Oh, okay, so Abomination. Okay. Thank you for that, Rob. Thank you. I'd forgotten what I was even talking about. All right, next up, and there was two. Michael says there was two Ghost Rider. I thought there was, but I don't remember seeing the second one. Gorgon is up next, 150K. He is an interesting character. Looks like he is, I don't know. Part of me wants to say he's like a fighter pilot, but part of me wants to say he's like a barbarian. A member of the Inhuman royal family and superhumanly strong, even by inhuman standards, he serves as Black Bolt's personal bodyguard and trains the Inhuman youths in controlling their newly acquired powers. One of Atalan's staunchest defenders. Oh, look at that! Hey, that word staunchest has become rather relevant to me now that you looked that up for me. So. His feet have been transformed into hooves capable of generating highly destructive seismic waves. Wow. Fantastic Four, number 44, 1965 was his first appearance. There were two Ghost Rider movies. The second one was boring. So was Nicolas Cage in the second one, or was there somebody else playing Johnny Blaze?
I don't know. I didn't know there was a second
sorry.
one.
I'm asking the chat. These guys are telling me in the chat that there's that there was a second one. So Green Goblin, 250K. He's up next. We know him. He is the foe of none other than Spider-Man. We've seen him in a couple of the movies. Head of Oscorp, Norman Osborn, stole a serum and made him superhumanly powerful, but unknowingly would also send him on a path to insanity based on nightmares he had as a child and technology from his own company. He became the Green Goblin, terrorizing New York City and becoming the nemesis of Spidey-Man. Amazing Spider-Man number 14 back in 64 was his first appearance as the Green Goblin. So let's see here. Next up is Green Skin Smash Troll. Interesting. I wonder if he's related to Pillow Pants. You ever seen Clerks 2, Tyler? Have you ever seen the movie Clerks or Clerks 2?
Yeah, they're both pretty great.
So you are familiar with the Pillow Pants reference then? Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so he's a Smash Troll. So I was just wondering if he was related to Pillow Pants or not. Anybody out there in the chat seen Clerks 2? Probably not a very appropriate subject to be talking about, but if you don't know, you don't know, and if you do know, you do know. So, Pillow Pants. Pretty funny. Anyways, moving along. Greenskin Smash Troll, former champion of the realm. He was rampaging through a marketplace in a drunken rage when Captain Avalon found him. Taking him back to the Castle Avalon, Greenskin joined the captain on his adventures where his superhuman strength proved a valuable asset. After Captain Avalon was lost within the time stream, Greenskin trained his son, Pillow Pants, in the art of fighting. They didn't mention his son's name, so I was just taking a guess there, but... Avatars, there's an extra A in there, I'm not sure if I'm saying that. Covenant of the Shield number 1 back in 2000 was the first appearance of him. All right, Gwenpool, I know who she is, but I don't know a lot about her, so let's go ahead and flip her card around and see what's up with her too. So Gwenpool came from a universe where superheroes were merely the stuff of stories and comic books. Somehow transported into the Marvel universe, she came face to face with the people of the stories she had read about. With a cool costume and an arsenal of awesome weapons, she became a crime fighter just like her favorite comic book superheroes under the alias Gwenpool. Howard the Duck, Volume 6, number 1, back in 2016. So Gwenpool is like brand new hot. She's like super fresh. Like she's not old at all. I didn't know that. I thought she was at least, 10, 15 years old. Nick Cage was in the second one too, they both say. So, hey, thanks for that. You guys are awesome. Next up, we got Hammer, 25K. Let's see if we can bring the hammer down. Hey, my brother Tyler's calling. What up, Tyler? You're not going to be able to answer that right now, though, so... Anyhow, I doubt you're watching, but shout out to Tyler. I already gave you one shout out. Not Tyler P. This is the other. This is Tyler C. But not to confuse you, we just say Tyler. So, anyways. Hammer was Hydra's attempt at creating their very own Thor. Ooh, they're trying to pump it up on their own. Hammer is strong, powerful, and equipped with a technological hammer displaying similar properties of Mjolnir. He is part of a group known as Hydra 4, who were last seen facing off against Spider-Man in the New Avengers. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 519 back in 05 as the Hammer. 05 was actually the year my son was born. A pretty monumental year for me. Hammerhead up next. Let's see here. We actually unlocked him for completing one of the... Was it Gwenpool missions, Tyler? When did we get Hammerhead? I want to say it was a... Maybe it was a Manhattan Noir. But anyways, after been beaten so badly, his skull was shattered, and a mad surgeon replaced Joseph's skull with one made of titanium that had a flat top, making it near impervious to damage. With his new ability and adopting the name Hammerhead, he quickly rose up the criminal ladder, often finding himself in conflict with heroes and fellow criminals alike. First comic appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 113 back in 72. All right, we're getting close to one of my favorite all times. He's only like 5 or 6 clicks away, so I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit so we can get there. Hawkeye, 150K. He is definitely a part of the Avengers and somebody that I am aware of. I do like his purple outfit there. It's a little bit different. Clint Barton was a runaway circus performer trained in archery and combat by 2 mentors he considered heroes. When it was revealed his heroes were actually criminals, Clint fled, and after seeing Iron Man in action, was inspired to use his archery talents to fight crime, keeping his circus name Hawkeye. While he has no superpowers, his accuracy seems well beyond that of natural human, and he is extremely skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He has gone on to be an important member of the Avengers team. See, I did not know that he was trained by some baddies and that he came from the circus. Like, I already made a joke earlier about Ringling Bros earlier, and, you know, that's funny that there's more circus talk. So, first appearance, Tales of Suspense, number 57 and 64 as Hawkeye. So he's an old schooler, too. Heimdall. All right, we already know Heimdall. He's going to cost us 250K. And he's pretty important, I do believe, in the Thor series. I don't know how much he's in Ragnarok, if at all, but Asgardian Heimdall was born with senses so acute he could see and hear across all creation. Because of his ability, he was chosen by Odin to guard the Rainbow Bridge, Bifrost. This duty requires him to be one of Asgard's most formidable warriors, proficient in all forms of combat. This, combined with his Asgardian strength, makes him a fearsome foe for anyone willing to trouble Asgard. First appearance, Journey into Mystery, 85, back in 62. Tyler, do you have any comics? I was curious. I'm meaning to ask you that. None at all.
I had like those old Bionicle comics from way back when.
That counts. You've got some comics. I don't have a lot of current comics like in my main collection. I get a lot of stuff in my loot crates. You know, I've been a loot crater for 4 years now. I actually, in full disclosure, I canceled my subscription this last month. Just because I have my drawers are just like bulging at the seams with t-shirts. I have 2 big crates full of loot crate stuff. You can see in the back I got loot crate boxes leaking out all over my room and stuff too. So I just took a break for a while, and so I did get this month's, which was pretty awesome. It came with a Sonic the Hedgehog collectible, which is like one of the main reasons we got into it, was hopefully to get Sonic collectibles. But yeah, so I was just curious. So we get a lot of comics from that, and Reese does too, but Reese doesn't have any comics outside of that, and he keeps wanting to go to comic shops, but Salem is pretty weak. We don't really have any really good comic shops here, so I'm hoping that changes. Maybe that's something I need to create. All right, Hela, I'm not sure how you say it. Hela. It's gonna cost us 250K, and let's see here. That's pretty mischievous looking. Hela is an Asgardian goddess and ruler of the dead. She constantly seeks to bring more Asgardian souls under her control, even going so far as trying to investigate Ragnarok. Or instigate. Trying to instigate. Whoops. Investigate. That was the wrong word. The Asgardian apocalypse, Hela, is an immensely powerful being due to her knowledge and use of mystical energy, able to slow or stop even Mjolnir in flight. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Journey into Mystery, number 102, 64 was the first appearance of her. Next up is Moo, old Hell Cow, 500K, and let's see what we got to learn about Hell Cow. Let's see here. We've got whilst grazing. I love that word, whilst. I use it a lot in my videos. I don't know if you guys catch that or not, but whilst grazing one night, Bessie was attacked by a starving Dracula. Seemingly dead and buried by her owner, Bessie arose 3 days later imbued with vampiric powers, thirsty for blood and revenge on being responsible for her condition. What? And revenge on being responsible for her condition. A search that would last hundreds of years. This search eventually led her to America, where she fought with Howard the Duck, which is one of my favorites of all time. And first appearance was Giant Size Man Thing number 5 in 75. I actually think I've heard of that comic. I watch a lot of Comic Book Men on AMC, and I feel like that is one of the comics that has come in or been purchased by one of the people. Next up, Hitmonkey. This guy is really weird looking. He looks like Marvel wanted a piece of the Hitman action, and they made their own look, because he's even got the red tie. Literally looks like the Hitman character from the Hitman series. Anyways, after the tribe was wiped out by mercenaries looking for an assassin, they had granted sanctuary to Hitmonkey, who had studied the assassin, took up the fallen assassin's weapons, and set about eliminating all those responsible. Due to his skills as a hitman and the fact that he is a monkey, few people believe Hitmonkey to be a threat, but by the time they do, it's too late. First appearance, Hitmonkey number 1, 2010 as Hitmonkey. So they're totally stealing the thunder of the Hitman video game and movie series. That's gotta be it. All right, next up, Hobgoblin, 250K. We should be familiar with Hobgoblin too. He's been around for a long time. Roderick Kingsley was a fashion designer in New York, the alter ego Hobgoblin that he used to blackmail his competitors. Getting hold of the Green Goblin formula, he gave himself superhuman powers to further his criminal career. However, he has found Spider-Man battling him at every turn. First appearance, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 43, back in 1980 as Roderick Kingsley. And next up, we've got Howard the Duck. Woo! That's right, 50K is all he's going to cost us, and he actually unlocks the Iron Duck as well, which we saw in the Gwenpool mission that we needed him for, which was pretty sweet. So Howard the Duck, let's see here. He goes by Howard. He lived in New Stork City on Duck World. That's right, not New York, but New Stork City on Duck World before he was transported to Earth when a demon named Thog attempted to unite all realities into one. Despite never feeling truly at home, he took up residence and became a private investigator. He also hooked up with Leah Thompson, if I'm not mistaken, which was probably worth staying here. Anyways, solving countless crimes and battling numerous villains in the process while possessing no superpowers, Howard is a master of martial art quack fu, as well as having received training in the mystic ways by Doctor Strange. Interesting. I had no idea there was any connection to Doctor Strange. I've really only seen the 1980s Howard the Duck movie. I know very little beyond that, so I had no idea Doctor Strange was even involved. First appearance, Adventure into the Fear, number 19 in 1973 as Unnamed Duck. We might as well take a quick peek at Iron Duck here. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What is he doing? Oh, interesting. All right, let's go back to Iron Duck, and let's flip it over. Let's see. Boy, the chat has come to a complete halt. Anybody got anything to say about Howard the Duck? Did you guys like the Howard the Duck movie? Some people thought it was horrible. I loved it. I watched it all the time. I had a VHS copy, and I watched it like you wouldn't believe. Howard was given the Iron Duck armor by Claude Starkowski, a Vietnam veteran who believed that he was the genius who created the Iron Man armor. Well, it's kind of close. His name is Stark, right? Close, close. The Iron Duck armor is fully loaded with state-of-the-art foot springs, a flamethrower, and features a spectacular Iron Man-inspired trash can design. Howard the Duck number 31 as Iron Duck was the first time we ran into the Iron Duck. All right, Hulkling is up next for 150K. And look, we still got 28,970,000,000. I think we're doing okay on the studdage. Let's see here. We've got Hulkling, who, let's see here. He's superhumanly strong with the power of shapeshift. Teddy Altman joined the Young Avengers and has adopted the name Hulkling to reflect his abilities as a strong green changeling. First appearance, Young Avengers number 1, 2005. Nice, nice, nice. Welcome to the squad, Hulkling. All right, Inferno, 250K. Oh, look at that. We can also pull up the card. I did not realize you could pull up the card before you purchase them. Fancy, fancy. All right, let's go ahead and purchase him. Actually, let's look at it since we got it up. Dante is a newly developed inhuman with the power to generate flames from thin air, often taking the flame form, which engulfs his body when angered or excited. As an inhuman, he also has the enhanced speed, strength, and reflexes like the rest of his kind. But unlike most other inhumans, he has the power of flight. That's convenient. Inhuman number 1, 2014 as Dante Pertuz. All right, we'll go ahead and purchase him now for 100K. Wasn't there a non-family movie based on the Howard the Duck? You know, so my wife thought the same thing. I asked her the other day, I said, what do you think about Reese watching the movie? You know, Reese is 13 now, so he's kind of right on that line. Like, some movies are okay and some aren't. And so I asked her, and she said, oh, there's lots of cussing in that movie. And I said, you know, I don't remember there being any cussing. So I went to IMDb and looked it up, and it's actually rated PG. The one that I'm talking about is totally PG. But I remember it kind of being scary and having moments. Did you ever see that old Howard the Duck movie, Tyler? Dude, you need to watch it tonight. You need to watch it. It is like super cringy and like awesome all at the same time. Like, I don't really know how else to explain it. It's a movie. And you know, you've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Okay, so you know the principal, the bad guy, the guy that chases Ferris all the time. He plays the scientist in the movie that, you know, he's experimenting with this crazy high-powered telescope, and, you know, something goes wrong, and he basically receives a signal, and he kind of gets overpowered or taken over, like, possessed by this demon or alien entity or something. And at the same time, Howard gets phased here. And that is pretty much the premise of the movie, and so Howard has to kind of fight off this alien entity while trying to adjust to human life, and it's interesting. And Leah Thompson, I'm pretty sure it's Leah Thompson, right? Am I tripping? I'm 99% sure that it's Leah Thompson who was in Back to the Future as well. So, like I said, it's been a long time since I watched it, but I used to watch it like all the time as a kid, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it in a while or haven't seen it at all, I definitely recommend seeing it. Now, I don't know, there's no talk of them bringing Howard the Duck back, but why wouldn't they? He's kind of one of those characters like Deadpool that's kind of borderline inappropriate or super sought after by most people of all ages. Inappropriate things seem to be like the most wanted things in life these days, so it seems like Howard the Duck, if he was inappropriate, would be definitely more in demand now. All right, back to the purchasing. We got Iron Man Old West for $250K, which also unlocks Tony Stark Old West. Now, this is obviously in relation to the old-timey... Whoa, that card spun forever. The old-timey Wild West, where all the characters from Currentville are in Old Schoolville. Let's see here. We've got when the town of Timely was threatened by Mayor Fisk. Yep. Governor Roxon, Anthony Stark knew he had to help his friends, Sheriff Steve Rogers, and an inventor. He has created a steam-powered suit of armor impervious to bullets that's not only keeps him safe, but gives him great strength and firepower of his own. First appearance, 1872, number 1 in 2015. So that's a relatively new storyline as well. It sounds like the whole multiverse going back in time thing. I didn't know that. Wrong button. Gotta toggle over first, Brian. Gotta toggle over first. All right, it is indeed Leah Thompson. Thank you for verifying that. Both Rob and... Oh, Michael, too. Let's see here. Tony Stark Old West. This is probably just some more info on the old times. Look at that. When the town of Timely was threatened by Mayor Fisk... Oh, it's not the same. Tony Stark knew he had to shake himself from his malaise and help his friends, Sheriff... Oh, it is the same. It's the same. What? All right, Jonah Jameson, old JJJ for $10K. We'll go ahead and purchase him. What do you say? Flip him around. He's the grumpy guy. He's our boss. The editor in charge of the Daily Bugle, newspaper where Peter Parker works. Jameson has been a longtime critic of Spider-Man. Much of Peter's chagrin? I'm not even sure what that means. Plus, it sells papers. Despite this, he is a man of integrity and has supported Spider-Man when he felt it for the greater good. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, 1963 as JJJ. All right, we got Kang. Let's go ahead and check out Kang's rap sheet. What do you got? What's this story on Kang? A master tactician and time traveler, Nathaniel NoobTube Nate, what up? Was born in the 30th century within a reality of Earth in which the Dark Ages never occurred and technological advancement flourished. During his time traveling adventures, Kang has grown obsessed with defeating the greatest warriors he could find, and the Avengers quickly became his greatest rivals. Avengers number 8, 1964, as Kang the Conqueror was the first time we ran into him. All right, so Kang Minion, 10K. This is just a little crony. Let's see what it says. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Flip it around again. Get our flip on. A loyal minion dedicated in service to the majesty of the Kang Conqueror. First comic appearance never seen. So they were created for this game, it appears. Karnak, 150k. He is, let's see here. Although an inhuman, Karnak was raised without any exposure to the Terrigen mist as a result of his brother's Triton's unexpected transformation. Instead, Karnak was taught multiple physical and mental disciplines in the Tower of Wisdom, where he eventually became a magister with the ability to see the flaw in all things. That was kind of a tongue twister. Fantastic Four number 45 and 65 was his first appearance. Still rocking 28,969,000,000. And next up is Killmonger for 250,000, 250k. Killmonger, I do believe, is related to Wakanda. Yep, Wakandian revolutionary. Killmonger harnesses a great hatred for the Wakandan royal family and blames them for his parents' death at the hand of Claw, making Black Panther his biggest foe. Jungle Action number 6 and 73 was the first time we saw Killmonger. King Arthur Pendragon is up next for 150k. Looks like some old medieval time stuffs again. King Arthur Pendragon was the British monarch of legend who founded the court of Camelot and the Order of the Knights of the Round Table. Wielding the powerful sword Excalibur, King Arthur protects the realm from villains such as the Black Knight, Morgan Le Fay, and Mordred the Evil. The Young Allies number 11, 1944 was the first time we saw King Arthur. Now, we all know who Kingpin is, so I'm going to go ahead and skip him just to kind of save some time. And look at that. We got a handful of guys here. We know who they are. We know who Claw is, Koi Boy, Korvac, Kraven the Hunter. Let's see here. Cronin the Warrior. I don't know anything about Cronin the Warrior. Let's go check out Korvac, too, actually. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Korvac, born in the alternative Earth, Korvac found himself a traitor to the human race when he collaborated with a Badoon, conquering reptilian race. After being used as a pawn in the Grandmaster's games, Korvac battled Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy, who forced him to flee through time and space, where he was imbued with the power cosmic. Let's see, giant-sized defenders number 3, 1975 was the first time we saw Korvac. All right, moving right along. Living Mummy is up next, 50k. Let's go ahead and check him out. Something tells me that this guy is old school as well. Nkantu was the son of African chieftain, raised to be the mighty warrior when his tribe was enslaved by Egyptians. Nkantu led a revolt, slaying the name, the pharaoh, and confronting the royal wizard Nefras. The wizard punished Nkantu by rendering him immobile with a special fluid and entombing him. That sounds suspect. Promising that he would suffer for eternity as the living mummy. Now free, he has been recruited by Agent Coulson for his Howling Commandos. Supernatural Thrillers number 5, 1973. So kind of old school as well. Lizard up next, 50k. We know, we've seen him around before. Lizard is, let's see here. After losing one of his arms, Dr. Connors used his knowledge of biology and biochemistry to develop a regeneration serum based on reptilian DNA. Connors successfully used himself as the first test subject, and his arm grew back, but also altered his own DNA, turning him into an aggressive humanoid reptilian monster. His evil misdeeds constantly lead him into conflict with Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man number 6, 1963 was the first time we ran into old Lizard. Next up, we got a locked one, but it's also Loki Classic. So it tells me there's going to be another version of Loki, which we only have to pay 250k for the one, and it should give us both. And look at that, it did. So we got Loki Classic, which we'll check out first. And let's see here. As a child, Loki was frequently overlooked in favor of his half-brother Thor, Odin's son, which birthed resentment within him. Spurred on by his lust for power, the god of mischief utilizes devious tricks, sorcery, and wit to overcome his enemies in thirst to rule over Asgard and those who do not believe in him. First appearance, Venus number 6, 1949. So Loki is an old schooler too. So what do we got here? We got another version of Loki. It's probably the same info as we're finding out on these locked ones. Oh, no. Taking advantage of Odin's increasing age and sadness, Loki has used all of his skills and illusions to take the throne in Asgard and rules over all its people in guise of Odin. Never in a comic as that version of Loki. question. What do you guys think of Loki? Is Loki good or is he bad? Because we've kind of seen him roller coaster through stuff. And I mean, I get it. He's a little sucked up. He's a little bitter. You know, his brother kind of gets the limelight where he doesn't. But, I mean, is he good or is he bad? I mean, I don't really know. So, you tell me in the comments what you guys think. Luke Cage Noir is going to cost us $150K. Looks like he's also got another version of Luke Cage there, but we already got him. So we'll go ahead and pay for the Noir version and take a quick peek. I like his outfit. It's rather relaxed and comfortable. Casual Friday. Character profile within the alternative Noir Earth. Luke Cage, the man with the unbreakable skin, returns to Harlem after serving 10 years in Rikers Island. That's not good. It's a long time served there. And Luke Cage Noir #1 in 2009 is the first time we ran into that version of him. Madam Hydra. So he's both. Rob thinks that Loki is both bad and good. And I would agree with that because that's kind of how it seems. Oh, got a little button happy there. We'll go ahead and check her attributes out before we purchase her. Madam Hydra is orphaned as a child and recruited into Hydra. Ophelia was initially known as Viper. I actually had a friend that went by the name of Viper. He was actually a dancer of sorts, kind of a Chippendales type dancer, and I hated the fact that we found out he used to be one, and then I found out his stage name was Viper, and I used to always call him Viper, and he hated it. So Aaron, I don't doubt you're out there, but what up, Viper? Anyways, after taking control of Hydra's New York operations, she had since taken on the name Madam Hydra and frequently battles Captain America and S.H.I.E.L.D. Captain America number 110 or 110, 1969 is the first appearance we saw her. Boy, they were at 110 in 1969. That is a lot of issues already back then. All right, so she was 150K. We bought her up. Next up is Maestro. Maestro's going to cost us 150K, and we've seen him. He's like one of the Hulk's daddies or something, isn't he? Let's see here. He's whatever helps him. Yeah, he is kind of a traitor, huh? Maybe consider him a frenemy. Well played, Adam. Well played. Character profile. Maestro is Bruce Banner from an alternative future timeline. After a nuclear war killed most of the planet's inhabitants, including superhumans, Maestro seized control of the city known as Dystopia. The radiation absorbed only increases his powers further. Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect, #1 in 2014. So a rather recent addition too. Oh, Mantis. We've known Mantis. We've seen her in the Guardians movies. Or the Guardian movie, I guess, as she was only in the sequel. She was not in the first one. Let's see here. Raised by the Kree priests of Pama and trained in martial arts, the telepathic abilities, it was believed that Mantis has to become the celestial Madonna. She joined the Guardians of the Galaxy and strives to protect the innocent. First appearance, the Avengers #112, 1973, as Mantis. All right, Man-Ape. I'd love to know why this dude is running around. Like, is he half man, half ape? Is he a dude in a suit? What's going on here? He developed the persona of Man-Ape when he defeated a rare white gorilla and revived the outlawed white gorilla cult. After completing a mystical ritual, the white gorilla strengthened as bestowed upon M'Baku. With this new power, M'Baku challenges the Black Panther's right to rule Wakanda. So he's actually a bad dude, too. I did not know that. See, I still haven't seen the Black Panther movie, so you have to forgive me. I'm not fully versed in all of that stuff. Let's see here. It sounds like someone's coming up my stairs. Is somebody there? Alright, I thought somebody was creeping up on me. You know, Reese sometimes likes to sneak up behind me in my game breaks. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't trying to creep up behind me in the stream. Next up is Man-Thing. Speaking of Reese, Man-Thing. That's kind of his nickname right now as he's going through a transformation of his own. Not to embarrass him, but he is. He's 13. And let's see here. Oh, I should have purchased him first. Reese is much more handsome than this guy, though. I will give him that. Man-Thing is the immortal guardian of the nexus of all realities, a cross-dimensional gateway granting access to any and all realities located within the swamps of the Florida Everglades. That's a weird place for it to be, but I guess it makes sense as it is quite swampy down there. And first appearance was Savage Tales #1, 1971, as the Man-Thing. So we'll go ahead and spend that 250K. And we'll skip over Maximus just to save some time, as he was already unlocked, and you guys probably know who he is. Maybe not. You want Maximus? I know we're a little behind in the chat. I can't get the challenge of getting all map points. Please help. Well, Darth Raptor, did you use our Vistas Not to Be Mistas video? That video has some improper labeling in the video, but all of the points and everything that is shown is actually correct. So it was just me copy and pasting. I got bad. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Darth Raptor video. And hey, Tyler, if you have a second, if you could maybe throw a link to that, that might be super helpful. If you're busy, I get it.
Yeah, sure.
But if you're napping, wake up. Merlin, 150,000. Well, we're over halfway. We're over halfway with this, I would say. We're an hour and 44 in. So let's see here. Merlin was the advisor to King Arthur Pendragon and a wizard at the court of Camelot. It is believed that Merlin is one of a number of alternative selves belonging to Merlin of the other world. So that was Merlin with an I and Merlin with a Y in there, if you didn't catch that. So there was 2 different Merlins. First appearance was a Young Allies number 11 in 1944. So let's see here. Militant up next, 150K. Let's see here. Not a big deal. Yeah, so I did hear somebody. My wife was creeping back down there. She sent me a text to let me know it was her. She didn't want to interrupt the stream. Militant, 150K. Let's see here. He looks like he's like a reptile version of Captain America. Doesn't he? Oh, he's a Hydra version. As a member of the Hydra 4, Militant was the Hydra equivalent of Captain America. Look at that. So I can get a pretty good idea of who he is by what he looks like. And fought alongside Hammer, Tactical Force, and Bowman. Last seen facing off against Spider-Man and the New Avengers. His whereabouts are currently unknown. Amazing Spider-Man number 519 and 2005 was the first appearance of Militant. All right, Misty Knight, 150K. Let's see what she's got to say. She looks like she's from the 70s. Once an officer of the NYPD, Misty lost an arm whilst trying to dispose of a bomb. As a reward for her bravery, Tony Stark gifted her a bionic arm, and she now works as an investigator and crime stopper alongside the Defenders. First comic appearance, Marvel Team Up number 1 in 1972. Word. Thank you for putting that link there, Tyler. And Darth Raptor, if you didn't catch it, Tyler P, a.k.a. Interlooper, has posted a link directly to the video that should help you out. Now, if you followed that video and you did not get the trophy achievement, maybe try it again. Maybe quit your game and reload it and try it again. Otherwise, I don't know what to recommend. All right. Modam, not to be confused with Modoc. 500K. This is actually one of the DLC trophy achievements I need. You need to have both of these 2 out in a party at the same time. So let's go ahead and check out the Modam overview here. See here. Olinka Barankova was transformed into Modam by the scientists at AIM headquarters, a nefarious subversive organization using technology to acquire enough power to topple governments. She utilizes a doomsday chair to amplify her sonic and mental capabilities. First appearance, West Coast Avengers number 2, 1988, as Maria Troyovana Pym. Oh, I wonder if she's related to Hank Pym. Interesting. I wonder if Modoc says anything about... There's a Pym in there. I can't imagine that they're not related, right? I mean, it's Marvel. PYM, that's an awfully weird spelling. Or is it PYMM for Ant-Man? I'd have to go check that out. After being altered into a super intelligent being by AIM, to study the cosmic tube, Tarleton's ambitions have seen him turn on AIM and place himself in charge of as Modoc, short for mental organism designed only for killing. First appearance, Tales of Suspense, 1967, as Modoc. So now we can reunite them, and it'll feel so good. That's right. And you probably didn't hear that, but the Howard the Duck character in the background is kind of chuckling every once in a while. He laughed right as I sang that, so it was good timing, Howard. Good timing. Next up, Moon Knight, 150K. Now, there was a trophy achievement called Dancing in the Moon Knight. Now, I do believe this guy has a musical ability, and I think that's what the trophy achievement was originally written for. But as it turns out, it unlocks when you use any character with musical ability, and you actually get 5 innocent bystanders to start dancing. So you gotta spread that dance fever. Next up, let's see here. Moon Knight's character profile: an ex-Marine and CIA operative turned mercenary, Mark Spector found himself dying under the statue of the moon god Khonshu whilst on a mission in Egypt. After being revived by the powers of Khonshu, Spector was reborn as Moon Knight and is now moved to the New York City to fight crime. Hey, that's a good place to fight crime. Werewolf by Night, number 32, 1975 was the first time we saw him. And let's see here. Kira, what's up? Lego Dimensions trophy, 78% of them. That's you? And is that like all of them? Is that like Lego Dimensions as a whole? Or is that like the core starter pack? Because you could go either way. Because there's, some people really focus on getting the trophy achievements, you know, like, and if you're on a PlayStation, then, and it sounds like you are because you reference trophies, you know, some people just want that platinum trophy. They're not worried about the DLC bronze and silver trophies. Some just want that platinum. So, you know, if you're 78% of the starter pack, then you're really close. If you're 78% of everything, yeah, it sounds like you still got a little ways to go, which is good and bad, depending on if you're trying to finish it or if you're trying to get more time and more bang for your buck, so to speak. All right, next up is Morbius, and we're going to go ahead and spend $150,000 on him. It barely even puts a dent in our checkbook there. We'll flip his card around. What do you know about Morbius, Tyler? You know anything about Morbius?
Nope.
Yeah, well, he was born in Greece with a rare and debilitating blood condition. Michael Morbius studied to become a biochemist to cure his illness. After developing an experimental treatment involving vampire bats and electric shock therapy, Morbius was transformed into a vampire. Interesting. First comic appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 101 back in 71. I still don't know much about him or where he plays into the whole thing. We got Mordo, we know him. We've seen him and used him quite a bit. He's got some pretty sweet powers, similar to old Doctor Strange. And let's see here. Do I remember any sitcoms from the 4 network stations that we watched from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s? Well, hey, Adam, here's a fun fact for you. And this is also a challenge to anybody out there listening. So you guys probably don't know this. I may have mentioned this before in a previous video. But back in the day, in the early 90s, I used to be a model. Like, I'm not even kidding. I used to get paid to do photography. Like, I would be a subject and I would put on clothes. I was in Mervyn's catalogs. I was First Interstate Bank ads. Myron Frank stuff. I mean, I was in a lot of stuff. My mom was a model, and that's how I got into it. She was in the biz, and I was a cute, handsome little dude. And for about 5 or 6 years of my youth, I modeled. And one of the projects I got to be involved with was Fox. The channel Fox, or the network Fox, was actually creating a new thing called the Fox Kids Club. And I was lucky enough to be one of like the first 7 kids, and they filmed it all in Portland, Oregon, which is why I got lucky. I didn't get to go fly to New York or anywhere crazy. It was just all local, coincidentally. And to be honest with you, I don't know how far this reach was. Like, we may have only been on the West Coast. There may have been a completely different commercial or intro and outro for the East Coast people or South or whatever. But there is a tape floating around, and I'm still in contact with one of the other original Fox Kids Club guys, and you know, hopefully either Jason or myself can muster up the VHS copy that we had. I've contacted Fox a couple of times, the local station, and they say they threw all that stuff away. Can't imagine they don't have their intro and outro that they ran before their cartoon block that they had every day for like 10 years. I can't imagine they threw that away, but maybe they did. Have you ever heard that story before, Tyler? Did you know that I was one of the original Fox Kids Club members?
Nope, didn't know that
yeah,
about you.
And so, like, if you remember the commercial, the intro, it had the it was the you know, the old 80s song. It was super famous. Well, at the very end, the Fox Kids Club logo was kind of a cloud-like, fluffy logo, stacked Kids Club right on top of each other. It floated across the screen like so. On top of it was yours truly laying down in a yellow shirt and some khaki pants, and I floated across like I was floating on the Kids Club. I am 100% being honest with you guys. I've searched the internet far and wide trying to find anything, and I can't find anything on that. So if you guys can find that, that would be awesome. So but yeah, I was one of the original Fox Kids Club guys, and I got paid like a $30 Toys R Us gift certificate or something really simple. It was you know, really just I happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I happened to know somebody. In fact, my neighbor Jason, who I mentioned before, his dad actually was an executive at Fox, and that's really how I got in. Now my modeling experience kind of was like the open door. It was like, oh well, we need one more person. Oh hey, my neighbor is a model, and da da da. So but yeah, so that was one of my favorites. So the Fox Kids Club was one of my favorite things. It was cartoon blocks, and you know, it's had all sorts of things from, you know, DuckTales to, you know, Darkwing Duck and a lot of that, you know, 90s cartoon block stuff. And so anyways, that was probably my favorite. You know, I watched a lot of stuff back in the 80s and 90s, you know, Danger Mouse. I mean, you know, I got to remember I was a kid then, so I watched a lot of cartoons. Inspector Gadget was another one. Double Dare was, you know, I watched a ton of Nickelodeon. There wasn't a lot of cartoon programming on other stations at the time. You know, you had Saturday and Sunday mornings where cartoons ran on most of the local stuff, and then of course you had a couple of blocks here and there. But like Adult Swim and Cartoon Network, all that stuff didn't exist yet. So Nickelodeon was like really the only place to go. I don't even think Disney had their own channel. If they did, I don't think we had it. You know, cable was really weird and expensive back then, but. Yeah, practically famous, almost. Hey, I'm hoping one day I you know, get my big break. You know, I see people like, you know, Fousey and other YouTubers out there that started, you know, on the platform and that are now in movies and have like multi-million-dollar contracts with people. I'm not looking to be one of those guys, but you know, hey, if I get my own Lego minifig in a Lego game or something, like, you have no idea how like amazing that would be. Like, that would make my, I don't know if my life, but it would make my year for sure complete. All right, Morgan Le Fay. Did we already cover her? We actually didn't. We didn't have to purchase her, but she's the half sister of King Arthur Pendragon and a disciple of Merlin. Morgan Le Fay possesses a great deal of magical power and immortality thanks to a half fairy heritage. That's a weird spelling of fairy. Although she has such an honorable family, Morgan is a villain who has battled the likes of the Avengers and Spider-Woman. First appearance, Black Knight #1, 1955, as Morgan Le Fay. All right. So yeah, I am. Remind me, hey Adam, if I don't post something regarding the Fox Kids Club in like the next week or something, please send me like some sort of a reminder and just say, hey man, poke your friend Jason and see if you found it. Because I have a VHS copy in a box out in my garage. It's in the same box with my comics. I have no idea where it's at. I've looked through a lot of stuff trying to find it. Never had any luck. But I hope to find it one day, and I will certainly put that on our channel if I find it, because I mean, it's pretty epic. It's pretty awesome. Anyways, all right, moving along. Mummy Bodyguard, 150K. And Mummy Bodyguard is, yep, Lego The Incredibles, coming out June 15th. Welcome to the stream, Troy. Mummy Bodyguard is, let's see here, the Colossus of the ancient world in a thrall to power of the living mummy. Enthralled to the power. So apparently some sort of a crony of the living mummy. All right, next up, Mysterio, 250,000 studs. I'm not sure what's going on. This guy looks like he hangs out with Snoop Dogg quite a bit, because it looks like there is an abundance of smoke up in that upper chamber there. Let's see here. Although a skilled expert in multiple fields, including special effects, robotics, illusions, hypnotism, and chemistry, Quentin Beck yearned to make himself known as an actor. You got all those other awesome traits and you want to be an actor? That seems kind of overkill. But anyways, deciding the quickest way to become famous was defeating a superhero. His villainous alter ego Mysterio was born. He selected Spider-Man as his target, leading to a feud that continues to this day. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man #2, 1963, as Quentin Beck. All right, appreciate that, Adam. I know you're good at reminding me about stuff like that, so I know I can count on you for that. All right, next up, Nebula. I believe it was 250K. My bad, I didn't see it. The stream is a little far behind. I'm still looking at Mysterio on that version there. Nebula is an assassin, space pirate, and daughter of Thanos. Nebula is one of the most feared fighters in the galaxy. Her tortured rivalry with her sister Gamora often leads her to conflict with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So it looks like she was 250K. The Avengers, first appearance, Avengers #257 as Nebula. Next up, Nick Fury. Let's see here. What you got, Nick, besides the patch? Let's see here. I wonder if there's a version in some sort of multiverse that Nick Fury has a parrot, like a talking parrot. Anyways, Nick Fury is a former U.S. Army officer and CIA operative, a skilled fighter, spy, and military strategist. Fury joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and was later selected to lead the organization as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Fury works alongside the Avengers to fight against Earth's most dangerous threats. First appearance, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos #1 in 1963. I didn't know he had his own comic book series. That's crazy. That's weird. All right, next up, Nova Prime, chunk of change. We got Nova Prime for completing a mission inside Xandar, and it also unlocked a Gwenpool mission for us. Now, the rumors were that we also needed Mantis and Taserface, but it turned out for us we only needed Nova Prime. But once we unlocked her, we have now purchased her. Nova Prime was an Irani Real. No, Irani Real is head of the Nova Corps, I can't speak, intergalactic military and police armed forces of the Nova Empire. A strong and honorable leader, Nova Prime dedicates much of her time and resources to ending the ongoing conflict between her own Xandarian people and the Kree Empire. First appearance was Guardians of the Galaxy movie in 2014. Pretty cool. So no comic appearance. Odin! All right, we know Odin. I wonder where we will run it. So let's see. Brian, Fox Kids was my childhood growing up with classic shows like Power Rangers, Digimon, and classic cartoons from both. So Brian, if you remember that era, do you remember the intro? So basically they played like a little, like 30 seconds, you know, and it was it's not, is it Axel Foley? Is that the name of the song? I swear it's Beverly Hills Cop theme. Dun 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 dun. Woo-hoo. I think it's called Axel Foley is the name of the song. But anyways, there was a series of like, you know, quick takes. Like there's a kid that looks down at his like shirt pocket and like he looks up as the kids club logo jumps out of his pocket, and there's kid running across the screen getting chased by the kids club logo, and like I remember a lot of it, but I just don't have the access to it. And like I said, I've looked all over the internet. Like, how does it not exist? I mean, there's all these videos of like old cartoons and old shows. And like, how does somebody not have a VHS tape with that intro and outro? And how has somebody not talked about it? Like, that just seems too epic of a thing to not be talked about. Like, did you guys have Ramblin' Rod? Was that something that made it to you? That was also a Portland-based show, which I was lucky enough to be on a couple of times. I actually got in trouble and got kicked off of the show once because you were supposed to take a soda at the end, and I took 2, and they told me no, and I still snuck one. I was bad. I was only like 6 years old. I didn't know any better. Anyways, Odin is up next. There's all sorts of stories I can share with you guys, and Tyler, you let me know if they're boring or not. Odin Borson is the all-father of Asgardian gods and the king of Asgard. Odin wields the Odin Force, drawing its power from the magical tree of life, a being of immense strength and wisdom. Odin can exist and battle in several dimensions and planes of existence simultaneously. Odin is the blood father of Thor and the foster father of Loki. First appearance was Journey into Mystery number 85 and 62. Boy, I can feel my voice starting to go, hey, dude, you've been talking a long time. My throat and my vocal region is kind of getting tiresome, but we're actually doing pretty good. Let's see. We're up to 184 of 256 total characters. So what do we got? We got like 16, 50, 70, about 80 characters left. I'm just kidding. It's not that many. It might be, though. We've got Phantom Rider up next, 150K. I am not familiar with this dude at all. He is rather white. Probably don't see him much after Labor Day. Carter Slade. Oh, another laugh from Howard. That was perfect timing again for my terrible joke and his little chuckle laugh. Carter Slade was badly injured while defending some settlers in the Old West. He was taken to the Native American medicine man, Flaming Star. Okay. Carter was healed and is now bestowed with the power of the spirits and seeks out the fight of injustice as the Phantom Rider. Ghost Rider number 1 in 67 was the first time we saw him. Yeah, no, so you remember, I'm not kidding, Brian. Like, I'm not even making this up. Like, I was the dude that wore the yellow shirt that floated across the screen at the end. That was me. And if you see, like, if we can find it, there is no doubting. Like, when you see it, you're like, oh, dude, that's totally Brian as a little kid. Like, I was a little nerdy little version of what you see right now. So, speaking of which, did you guys know a little fun fact for you? I used to compete at chess. That's how awesome I was. Like, I went to 2 state championships playing chess. Like, yes, they have those. It is a real thing. In 5th and 6th grade, I went to state championships, and I didn't win, but yes, I was a big-time chess player. TGIF Block was amazing. Dinosaurs, Step by Step, yeah, Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World was kind of a little towards the end. I was like teenager, getting into more grown stuff. I was starting to chase girls. Hanging with Mr. Cooper was around, same thing. Sister was probably after my Sabrina the Teenage Witch was kind of right there at the end too. I was probably 14, and it was like, you know, one of those shows that like I was interested in, but I didn't want any of my friends to know that I was watching. You know how that goes. But all right, Quake is up next, 150K. You have any embarrassing shows from your childhood you used to watch, Tyler?
I don't know if they're embarrassing.
Daisy Johnson is the daughter of supervillain Mr. Hyde and woman of inhuman lineage, Kim Johnson. Upon first displaying her seismic powers, Daisy was captured by S.H.I.E.L.D. and offered an opportunity to join them, backed by Nick Fury, a loyal and trusted agent. Daisy has level 10 S.H.I.E.L.D. security clearance equal to that of Nick Fury. First seen in Secret War number 2 in 2004. So what kind of shows did you watch? Did you? I mean,
I was super into Pokemon.
see, that was like
SpongeBob.
yeah.
That's like what I grew
See, I
up
was
with.
well beyond that. You know, and I know a lot of people. I have friends that are only 3 or 4 or 5 years younger than me that are totally into Pokemon too. But for some reason, I just totally missed out on that. Now I do happen to somehow have a. I have a couple of old Pokemon cards. I'm trying to think. I have an old Pikachu from like way back. I don't know if it's worth any money or not, but I found it in my old baseball card stuff, and I thought that was kind of cool. Let's see here. Troy says Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 Celestial Selfie and We Are Groot. Are those videos that you'd like to see, or because we do have a Celestial Selfie video up? I don't know if Tyler is available to help you with that or not. We Are Groot. I accidentally messed up on that one. In fact, I didn't do it. It happened. In one of the levels, I believe it was the DLC 1 for the Guardians of the Galaxy, you are supposed to play as Groot in the story. Now, in the free play, there is a trophy achievement for knocking some rats off, I believe is what it was. So I had to pull him out. So I had him out for that, and then later I needed him again, and he was still out. So I don't know if the character, like the AI, switched to him and pulled it out, or if I had one out, but I accidentally did it. So all you have to do is have both a baby Groot and a regular Groot out in the same party. So just select one character as Groot, and then toggle over to your other character, and then select baby Groot, and you should get the We Are Groot. Let's see here. Do you think you or Tyler think Lego and WB could do a Lego Power Rangers game? I don't know if that would happen, but it would be awesome. You know, Power Rangers is probably a big enough series that we could probably see something from that. You know, we didn't think Lego Incredibles had enough, but look at that, it's coming out. So, you know, Power Rangers would be good. I mean, anything that has longevity, that has a fan base, I think is a prime target for Lego. Like I think that anything that has a following, like, you know, even guys like J-Shock Blast and Blitzwinger, those guys both need Lego minifigs, and they need them before me too. Like I would love to have one, but those guys deserve one because their following is bigger and they've been doing this a little bit longer. And I totally think that anything with the following, anybody or anything, should get Lego treatment at some point. Power Rangers, it's not as big as it once was, but I could totally see them doing that. Pokemon would be a fun one too. A Lego Pokemon would be crazy, right? And run around trying to catch them all. Got to catch them all. Anyhow, Ragnarok up next. I know there's a movie out, but I know nothing about this person or entity or whatever is going on. So let's go ahead and spend the 150K and see what's going on. It looks like he's part robot or something. I don't know. Let's see here. What else we got in the chat? Nothing going on new. All right. Ragnarok is a genetically identical clone of Thor Odinson. Originally designated codename Lightning, he was created using a strand of Thor's hair that Tony Stark had kept from the first meeting of the Avengers. A flaw in the cloning process caused derangement, with Ragnarok mistakenly believing that he is the true Thor. Interesting. So I'm assuming that's what the movie is about. Yeah, Lego Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be awesome too. That's something that a lot of people have brought up. You know, and some of the things that have been really cool and talked about a lot, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, a lot of those got treatments in Dimensions. So, unfortunately, we probably won't see a full game of Back to the Future, which I would love to have played through the whole thing. We got a nice taste of it, and it was fun, but it would have been better to see all of it. You know, but I could see them getting, you know, TMNT or Power Rangers for sure. All right, Rawhide Kid, 50K up next. What you got, Rawhide Kid? We know you are the sidekick of Arizona Annie, if I'm right. Maybe I got the wrong person. Jonathan Clay was orphaned as an infant before being taken in and adopted by Ben Bart. I almost said Ben Fart. I know I just said it anyways, but I almost read it that way on accident for some reason. After his adopted father was gunned down, Johnny took revenge on the assailants and was branded an outlaw, naming himself the Rawhide Kid. He fights for justice and has gained a reputation as one of the greatest gunslingers in the American Southwest. Rawhide Kid's first appearance was number 17 as the Rawhide Kid. So, pretty crazy. He has his own comic book and everything. Red Guardian up next. We got here. So let's see here. How are you doing a live stream with you in the corner? You mean up here? Over here? Or over here? There we go. It's magic is what it is. Lots of equipment and lots of time setting it up. That's been my biggest hurdle with all of this is just the actual equipment. You know, I got like the thing like the Stream Deck, which is how I'm doing like, you know, sound effects and like, oh, wasted, you know, things like that. You know, so there's lots of bells and whistles that I've added over time. You know, webcam is obviously needed in order to throw that on there. I use a couple of things. I use the Elgato Game Capture HD to do my streaming, to actually connect the PlayStation to my computer and stuff. But I don't actually use the software that comes with it. I use another piece of software called OBS, or Online Broadcasting Software. That actually gives me the ability to add things like the overlays and the sound effects and, you know, things like that. You know, and I plan on adding more things as time goes on too. You know, we've got, this is one of Reese's favorites. He says when he owns me in Burnout that I'm supposed to use the old rainbow reptile. I don't really know what the story behind the rainbow reptile is, but it's pretty comical. So anyway, so yeah, the OBS, online broadcasting software, along with a computer, you know, the Elgato game capture, a webcam, a microphone, headset, you know, lots of stuff is what it comes down to. And I'm happy to explain all this if you want to get at me later, Solidist, and talk about stuff like that. Hey, welcome! What's up? I can't read the name. It's too blurry for some reason. But yeah, if you want more information, I'm happy to share that information. And that's something that, you know, Tyler, that's something we should do. We should compile either some sort of a written post or a video of information of what we use and how we use it. I know that's more of kind of a me thing than it is a you thing, but you know, maybe remind me in a couple days if I'm going, hey, I need an idea for a video. Maybe spit that one back out, regurgitate it back out into my lap, and see what I do with it. Yes, we have seen the trailer for Lego Incredibles. In fact, be looking for a video regarding Lego Incredibles and the information that we have found thus far. It's not a ton of info. We got some screenshots that were directly released from WB. You've probably already seen them floating around the internet, but just in case you haven't, we plan on having that video up sometime tomorrow. That's the goal anyways. All right, Red Guardian, Alexei Shostakov, blah, 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 Kumfluffle. I don't know what it is. I tried to add on to make it sound funny, but it failed. Oh, Howard laughed again. No, that's good. Alexei was the foremost test pilot in the former Soviet Union's Air Force. He was recruited by the KGB to become a special operative and was selected to become the second Red Guardian, the Soviet Union's equivalent of Captain America. First appearance, Avengers number 43 and 67. All right, we're going to skip over the Red King because we saw him and we're not worried. Red She-Hulk. We unlocked this one rather late in our game. Let's see here, 250K, and let's see here. I don't remember where she was. I remember she was one of the last ones we unlocked, but I can't remember where we, maybe even in a Gwenpool mission, actually. Betty Ross is the only child of a General Thunderbolt Ross and the love of Bruce Banner's life. Following years of exposure to gamma radiation from her association with the Hulk, Betty Ross died. Resurrected and experimented on by MODOK and leader, Betty has become the fearsome Red She-Hulk. Incredible Hulk #1, 1962 was the first time we saw her as Elizabeth Ross. Next up, Red Skull, 150K for the Iron Armor. Brian says the Rainbow Reptile is cool, but would probably startle someone on your live feed not expecting it. Yeah, we have all sorts of stuff. You know, we've got the just deal with it glasses, which, you know, don't always line up perfectly. There we go. You know, we got some other stuff. And hey, if there's other memes and things you'd like to see on the stream, like, I'm totally a noob when it comes to this stuff, so I'm just adding, you know, I got like making it rain money and things like that too. You know, like, if there's something out there that you'd like to see on the stream that makes sense, let me know. You know, there's this one too, the old custom Booyaka Show. But, you know, we'll improve on those things as time goes on. Oh, making it rain money again. I wasn't trying to do that. All right, Red Skull Iron Armor, 150K. And let's see here. Let's flip him on over on the back. After stealing a suit of Iron Man's armor, the Red Skull, the leader of Hydra and Captain America's arch enemy, used it to become the Iron Skull. Already a dangerous and superhumanly enhanced villain, wearing the Iron Skull armor makes him an even more dangerous and formidable foe. First appearance, the Avengers Protocol Part 1 in 2013 as Iron Skull. It was the Hanker Management Gwenpool mission. Thank you for that, Rob. I was pretty sure it was recent. Red Wolf up next. Oh, I think he was 150K. I went a little too fast there. But Red Wolf is Johnny Wakely, and he is a Native American man whose tribe were killed by an American pony soldiers when he was just a boy. Taken and raised by his settlers, his adopted family were later killed by renegade Indian braves, with both his real and adopted parents lost to the war between the Native Americans and the settlers. The Red Wolf promotes peace between the two sides. First appearance, Marvel Spotlight #1 in 1971. So interesting. So there's all sorts of Marvel tales that I was unaware that even existed. Like these guys have their own world. They're not just like part of somebody else's world. Like, you know, like the Rawhide Kid and everything. He had his own comic book. I did not know that. Let's see here. Rhino up next, 150K. This dude is kind of funny. You know, when Reese was a little, he got a haircut at one point, and it kind of had like a spike in the front. And I was kind of messing around one day after I got out of the shower, and I made a spike in the front of mine. And so I went up to him, and I gave him the old Rhino, like, kind of like the old, I don't even know what to call it, but I do this thing with him all the time, and it's been going on for like 10 years now, too. And it's just something we do as just like weirdos, and every time I see this Rhino costume, I always think, and that's pretty weird, right, Tyler? I mean, am I the only one that does like the Rhino thing? You're not responding, so I'm not feeling good about it. I'm not feeling good about it. All right, Sandman. Mr. Sandman, bring me a treat. Dun, 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 dun. He cost 150K. Let's see here. We got... He is literally up to his waist in sand. That is interesting. William Baker was a troubled youth who stole and cheated his way through adolescence. While on the run from the police and FBI, William was resting on a beach when a nearby experimental reactor exploded, bonding his body with the sand. With his newfound abilities, Baker continues his life of crime as the almost unstoppable Sandman. Amazing Spider-Man number 4 in 1963 was the first time we saw him. It's kind of weird. There's all these, like, you know, experiments gone wrong that have pretty much led to everybody's creation. You know, like the X-Men, they're cool because they're born that way, right? Like, they're just, you don't know, like, you could have 2 mutants and they like make a baby mutant, and like you don't know what's gonna happen with that mutant. Is he gonna have like flying ability like dad, or you know the X-ray like mom, or is he gonna be super fast and be totally different than both of them like Jack? But Scarlet Spider next up, 150K, and I don't know who is that. Obviously this is part of the Spideyverse. The Jackal created the Scarlet Spider by cloning the DNA of Peter Parker. Initially named Spider Clone, he was defeated and went into exile to lead a normal life, taking the name Ben Reilly. Upon his return to crime fighting, Ben has now become known as the Scarlet Spider. First comic appearance, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 149, back in 1975. Now, hey, I just want to point out, too, hey, remember a while back, Tyler, when I told you Emmett liked to climb up and sleep in the drawer? Like, I totally forgot. He's still sleeping in the drawer right next to me. Like, I'm not even kidding. Next up, Scorpion, 250K. You like the Rhino? We'll have to have Reese and I do it in one of the next unboxings or something. MacDonald MacGargan was a private investigator hired to find out how Peter Parker managed to get pictures of Spider-Man. After failing in his task, Mac was paid by JJJ to undergo the experiment, endowing him of characteristics of the Scorpion. The process has driven him insane, turning him into a superpowered criminal, the Scorpion. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 19, back in 64. All right, next up, the Shaka. Now, any of you adults out there familiar with Dane Cook? Like, every time I see the Shocker, I always think of Dane Cook's The Shocker. I know it's not appropriate, but it is super funny to me. And, yeah, just that's true. I always think of it. All right, Shocker, 150K, and let's see, this dude's got a big ol'... We've seen him in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, actually. Herman Schultz is a career criminal and known associate of Adrian Toomes, the Vulture. As the Shocker, Schultz uses a gauntlet that were created, or gauntlets that were created by the Tinker using Chitauri technology. Spider-Man Homecoming movie in 2017 was the first appearance. Next up, Shuri. Shuri, she is related to the Black Panther. Oh, I know, I'm not punny. Shuri is the half-sister of T'Challa and the Princess of Wakanda. Driven by her will to become the first female Black Panther, Shuri has become a strong and gifted warrior. Shuri has now ascended to the throne, taking her rightful place as the Queen of Wakanda. Black Panther Volume 4, number 2, in 2005 was the first time we saw Shuri. All right. How's the chat doing out there? It's getting kind of quiet. Any got questions? Any ideas? Anything's out there? What's your guys' favorite Marvel character from this game? How about that? Drop it in the chat. Let me know. Sif, 150K. Let's see what's up with Sif. She looks rather warrior-esque. Lady Sif is a warrior goddess of the Vanir and the sister of Heimdall. As a child, Sif was the playmate of Thor and Loki in Asgard. When Thor returned to Asgard following his visit to Earth, as Donald Blake, the two became close friends and companions. Sif is a skilled and mighty warrior, protector of the innocent, and the ally of the Warriors 3. Journey into the Mystery, number 102 and 64 was the first time we see her. Now, was she in one of the Marvel movies? Like, I'm trying to think of which one it was. It was definitely, I guess it was no, it wasn't Age of Ultron. What was it? Civil War, perhaps. It must have been Civil War. I feel like she was in one of the Marvel movies running around with Thor and all his buddies. Maybe it was one of the Thor movies. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the chat down below, too, if that is something you can answer. Silk, 150K. Let's go ahead and flip this around. Looks like she's part of the Spider-Verse as well. Cindy Moon was a highly intelligent high school student. During a science exhibition, Cindy was bitten on the ankle by a radioactive spider that had bitten... Wow, that's coincidental. After her powers manifested, Cindy was locked away in a bunker hidden from the world for her own protection. Freed by Spider-Man, Cindy named herself Silk and is now living her life as a spider hero. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, number 1, back in 2014 was the first time we saw her. Next up is Scar. And he's going to cost us 250K, and he is like a medieval version of Hulk. The son of Hulk and Kyra? Old strong, Scar has the powers and abilities of both. Born on the planet of Sakaar, Scar traveled to Earth to gain revenge against his father for abandoning him. Scar and the Hulk have reconciled their differences, with Scar having now being recruited for the new Avengers by Captain America. First appearance, World War Hulk number 5 back in 2008. Hey, what's up, Born to Play? Welcome to the stream. Sin is in the first 2 Thor movies. Okay, I figured I'd seen Sin somewhere. And okay, so yeah. First stream I was able to catch. Nice. Well, welcome to the stream, Born to Play. We've been at it for a couple hours now, and we're probably getting close to the home stretch. We're not quite there yet, but we're just going through all the characters, kind of reading their backstory and seeing what's up with them, chatting, answering questions, and all that stuff. If you got any questions you'd like me to know, go ahead and ask me anything. Doesn't mean I'll answer it, but you can ask me anything. Keep it clean in the chat, though. That's the one thing I ask. Songbird is up next, 150K. Let's spin this card around, and let's see here. Melissa Gold ran away from her alcoholic father and incarcerated mother. Turning to crime, Melissa became the supervillain Screaming Mimi. After losing her abilities, Baron Zemo recruited her, gifting her new augmented abilities. Now named Songbird, Melissa has turned away from evil and is the founding member of the Thunderbolts, using her abilities to fight for good. Well, that's good. First appearance was Marvel 2-in-1, number 54, back in 79 as the Screaming Mimi. Spider-Ham does whatever a Spider Pig does. Look at that, Spider-Ham. Pretty funny, huh? I figured this is kind of a reference to Homer Simpson's Spider Pig, but I don't know. Peter was a spider who lived in the basement of the laboratory of animal scientist May Porker. That is funny. Following a failed experiment, May Porker was irradiated and delusional. I don't know what that even irradiated. I don't know. That's a weird word. Delusional state bit Peter, transforming him into an anthropomorphic swine with spider-like abilities. These are big words here, TT. Come on, make it simple for a noob like me. With spider-like abilities, Peter has taken the last name of Porker and begun fighting injustice as Spider-Ham. First appearance, Marvel Tales starring Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham number 1 back in 83. Alright, there's Miles Morales. We'll skip over that and go to the Spider UK for 150K. And that's pretty sweet. Look at that. That's awesome. Whoops. Spin it back around. During his time and member of the Captain Britain Corps, Billy Braddock covered that a clan of the totemic hunters named the Inheritors were hunting down spider heroes across the multiverse. The Corps declined to get involved directly, but they did grant Billy the means to help. Using the Spider Talisman, Billy travels through the multiverse as Spider UK, leading the Spider Army in their fight to stop the Inheritors. First appearance, Edge of the Spider-Verse number 2 back in 14. Oh, just a couple years back. Spider-Woman up next. So we got a lot of Spider-Verse characters here. You're the only YouTube I sub to that replies to me on YouTube. Well, hey, I try to always be available and make sure that I'm helping you guys, because that's what I'm here for. You know, have fun, entertain, and to help out, most importantly. So, you know, sorry to hear that other people aren't as friendly as I like to try and be, but you know, maybe over time, you know, who knows. And part of it too is maybe the volume. Some of these people that you follow, they may have 1 million subscribers and they may get 100,000 comments on every video. It's pretty hard to keep up with 100,000 comments. Right now, my comments are still manageable. Someday they might not be, but for now, I try to be as available as possible. All right, Spider-Woman, aka Jessica Drew, was the daughter of 2 scientists employed by Hydra. After Jessica became sick as a result of her parents' work with uranium, she was given an experimental serum. The serum saved Jessica, but also gave her a variety of spider powers. Initially working as an assassin for Hydra under the name Spider-Woman, Jessica has now been reformed and become a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. First comic appearance, Marvel Spotlight number 32 back in 77. All right, next up, Squirrel Girl, a fan favorite that I know virtually nothing about. What do you think? Are you a fan of Squirrel Girl, Tyler? Is she someone that you're aficionado of?
I don't know anything about her, so I can't say I'm a fan.
Well, Doreen Green was born with an unknown modification in her genes that granted her squirrel-like abilities. A large, bushy, prehensile tail and the ability to talk to squirrels, making the best use of her powers. Doreen now fights crime as Squirrel Girl and the longtime member of the Great Lakes Avengers. Marvel Superheroes Volume 2, number 8 was the first appearance. So there's the Great Lakes Avengers too? That's so weird. Hey, it's Mr. Lee! We've freed Lee plenty of times, and now he is available. And hey, welcome to the stream, CPU Buster. Glad you could make it. See here, we got Stan Lee's on the Earth's greatest and mightiest superheroes, possessing the powers of some of the multiverse's finest combatants. He seeks out danger and injustice wherever it may be, occasionally biting off more than he can chew. He can often be found in mild peril. First appearance was in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2013 as Stan Lee. That was quite a while ago. All right, Super Adaptoid. This dude was really cool. He pretty much adapted to everything, anything and everything. He costs you 500K once you unlock him. Now, keep in mind, too, we have completed all of the story, free play and free roam, giving us all of the character unlocks. Now we're just going through and purchasing them all. And I don't remember where most of them come from, so if you have a question on where we unlocked one of them, go ahead and let me know, but I might not remember them all. There's a lot of characters. All right, let's see here. Super Adaptoid is an artificial being built by AIM using unstable molecules and a sliver of cosmic cube. It has the ability to copy and then replicate the powers, appearance, and artifacts of any superpowered beings that it witnesses. So that's pretty amazing. It seems like he would be undefeatable. Maybe not. I really hope Lego will make Stan Lee minifigure. You know, why haven't they? That is a really good point, Brian. Why don't they have? They don't even have like a brick head. You know, like they have those brick. Like that's maybe kind of an injustice to old Stan. I hadn't even thought about that. I have Lego Marvel Superheroes, Avengers, and Star Wars. Star Wars doesn't work, but I'm happy that you helped me. Star Wars doesn't work? What do you mean it doesn't work? Your game doesn't work? Or... anyways, let's see here. Tales of the Suspense number 82 and 66 was the first appearance there. All right, next up, Superior Spider-Man, 150,000. We'll go ahead and let's see here. We're at 2.5 hours. I gotta speed this up a little bit, guys. Let's see here. Otto Octavius used a brain-swapping Octobot to transfer his consciousness into the body of his nemesis Spider-Man. When Peter Parker attempted to reverse the process, their minds were fused together, ultimately resulting in the death of Parker. Since the living Parker's life through his memories, Octavius has decided to become a superior Spider-Man and to fight for good. Awesome. That's interesting. Amazing Spider-Man number 3, 1963 was the first time we saw him. Moving along, Taserface. What a terrible name to pick for yourself. There's a lot of terrible names out there, but Taserface might be the worst. He's a Ravager, bounty hunter, and lieutenant in the Yondu Ravager clan, a skilled thief and with enhanced reflexes. He believes completely in the Ravager code. A brutal and unintelligent individual, he appears to be unaware of the ridiculous nature of his name. First appearance was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie, which was out last year. Next up, Taskmaster for 150,000 studs. Let's see here. Thank you for handling that in the chat there too, Tyler. While working as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, Tony Masters was given a pneumonic primer serum. This gave Tony the ability to perfectly replicate any physical action he observes. Using his powers, Tony became the Taskmaster, a gun-for-hire and military training instructor. He was later recruited by Nick Fury and is currently a member of the Secret Avengers. First appearance, Avengers number 195 back in 1980 as the Taskmaster. Next up, the Ancient One for 250,000 stones. Let's see here. His clothes look like they're ancient. Born named Yao in Kamar Taj hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Became the Earth's Dimension first Sorcerer Supreme, protecting the Earth from sinister magic, forces, and other evil sorcerers. The Ancient One took on pupils, one of whom was gifted surgeon called Stephen Strange, who would later himself go on to become the Sorcerer Supreme and member of the Avengers. First appearance, Amazing Avengers number 1 back in 61 as an unnamed person. Ooh, the Collector, Benicio del Toro. Isn't that who played him in the movie? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Let's see here. We'll flip it around and see what's up with him. And it says Traveler Tavan Tanalier Tavan was the last surviving member of one of the first species to evolve after the Big Bang. Granted immortality by death and now named the Collector, he is one of the 5 elders of the universe. The Collector is obsessed with the collection and preservation of living beings and artifacts from across the universe. Avengers number 28, 1966 was the first time we saw the Collector. Next up, the Grand Master. Looks like he comes with Grandmaster Thor Ragnarok too. We'll go ahead and check out the original version first, and then we'll slip in. Hey, Tyler, we're in the home stretch. I'm sure you've been watching, but we only have one last row after I complete the Grandmaster. As the last surviving member of one of the first species to evolve in the Big Bang, Andwadi Gast was sparred and gifted immortality, calling himself the Grandmaster. He's one of the 5 elders of the universe, and using his cosmic powers, the force being in contests and tournaments for his own amusement. First appearance, Avengers number 69 as the Grand Master. So let's see here. The Grandmaster Thor Ragnarok, another 250k. Let's go ahead and flip him around. Oh, he looks like a normal little lad. Almost. The whites of his eyes are blue. That's a little different. Grandmaster is an ancient immortal being who ruled the planet Sakaar. From his throne, he presides over the great games and takes immense pleasure in manipulating lesser life forms. Never been in a comic before, though. So, at least he's got goals. All right, Throg, 500k, final row. We're in like the last 15 or 20 characters. We got a couple up top in the top row that I missed, it looks like, too. But Throg's going to cost us $500,000, and he's a pretty interesting character, to say the least. He is like a frog version of Thor. Former football player Simon Walterson. Now I wonder if that's football as in like soccer or as in football as in like football. Lost his wife and unborn child. Ooh, that's terrible. After seeking out a witch to speak to his wife in the afterlife, Simon was unable to pay, causing the witch to punish him by turning him into a frog named Puddlegup. After an encounter with Thor, Puddlegup picked up a shard of Mjolnir and is now the mighty Throg. A shard? Picked up a shard. That's usually dangerous. All right, Tinkerer, 150,000. Let's see what it says about the Tinkerer. Phineas Mason is a genius with an interest in science, engineering, and invention. Naming himself the Tinkerer, he became a criminal using the repair shop as a front for outfitting supervillains with gadgets and technology. After suffering in the crisis of conscience, the Tinkerer briefly worked as a double agent for S.H.I.E.L.D., but has since returned to his home life and crime. Amazing Spider-Man number 2 and 63 was the first time we saw him. Most recently, though, we saw him in Spider-Man Homecoming, where he was actually putting together all of the different trinkets and stuff for Vulture. Let's see here. 2-Gun Kid, 150k. Looks like he's going to be an old-timey Westie guy. Let's see what he's got here. He's got Matt Hawk, was a Boston lawyer who moved to Arizona following an American Civil War. After an encounter with some local toughs, Matt befriended Ben Dancer and was eventually trained by the legendary gunfighter, calling himself 2-Gun Kid and traveling through time to join the Avengers. He has become a legend in his own right. First appearance, 2-Gun Kid, number 60, back in 62 as the 2-Gun Kid. Let's see here. Ursa Major. Whoops, I didn't look to see how much Ursa. I'm sure it majorly costed a bunch. We'll go ahead and flip around. We still have 28,958,000,000, Tyler. We're still sitting pretty.
You sure? Those last few were quite a bit.
Mikhail was one of the first mutants in the Soviet Union to be recruited into service for the state. At the school of Professor of Phobos, he was trained as an agent and learned to use his ability to shapeshift into a large brown bear. Now known as Ursa Major, he has joined the Soviet super soldiers, the Russian counterpart of the Avengers. First appearance was Incredible Hulk number 258 back in '81. Now this guy was part of a mission in Manhattan, and it actually unlocked that race in Egypt free roam that we kind of failed at doing when we did Egypt free roam. But we went back and did it in the free roam cleanup, which was all right because there was 5 total races that needed to be cleaned up. So, all right, moving along, we got Valkyrie for 150K. Let's see here. Flip it around as Brunhilde was chosen by Odin to be his Valkyrie and lead the Valkyrer, taking the souls of the fallen Asgardian warriors to Valhalla. After becoming trapped on Earth, Valkyrie became a long-time member of the Defenders and later joining the Avengers. The Valkyrie is strong and loyal and one of the Asgard's greatest warriors. First appearance was Defenders number 4 back in '73. So there's Ultimate Venom. We already covered Venom earlier. Let's see, we got Vision, 250. We haven't seen Vision in a minute. He was a big part of one of the more recent Avengers movies, but I don't think we've seen him. He wasn't in Spider-Man or anything. I wonder if he's going to be in the upcoming... do you know anything about Vision? Is he in the new movie?
I have no clue.
Some help you are.
Marvel is not
I
my
know, where's
thing.
Doug at? Doug is like well versed in all of this stuff. He could probably answer most of our questions. He knows a lot of DC stuff too. He's pretty smart when it comes to that stuff. Dougie, if you're out there, what up? Come join the stream. We could use your moderation. Let's see here. Vision, a synthetic vibranium laced body, was built originally intended to be the perfect form of Ultron. Repurposed and reprogrammed by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, the Vision was activated using the Mind Stone. Implanted with the remnants of Jarvis's code, he gained a fondness for humanity and joined the Avengers. First appearance was Avengers number 57 in '68 as the Vision. What's going on there? Oh, because I speak English good? What's going on? I'm so confused in the chat right now. Vormund! 150,000 studs. Vormund is, let's see here, he's got a really sweet looking outfit. Marcus Ettlinger was a German special forces operative who led Germany's first superhero team, the Schultz Heil Group. Taking the name Hauptmann Deutschland, he was fought alongside the namesake Captain America, a brave and skilled combatant. Vormund has the ability to augment his strength and endurance by absorbing and redirecting kinetic energy. Captain America number 387 in '91 was the first time we saw him. Next up, Vulture Classic, which we also have Vulture. We'll go with Vulture first. 150K. Okay. And we'll flip it around, and let's see. That looks like a pretty awesome suit there. Adrian Toombs is the former owner of a New York City salvage company who swore revenge after Tony Stark drove him out of business. Equipping himself with an exosuit built from salvaged Shatari technology, Toombs takes on the identity of the Vulture. We saw him in the Homecoming movie, as it says down below there. I didn't realize that was his first appearance, though. Let's see here. Classic, though. There's probably got to be a classic version that's, in the comics or something, right? Let's see here. We'll flip this guy around. 150K. And see, Adrian Toombs was an inventor who lost his company after he was betrayed by his business partner. Donning an electromagnetic flying harness of his own design, he becomes the Vulture. Using his genius-level intellect, along with the flight and super strength given to him by the suit, he has embarked on a life of crime. Amazing Spider-Man number 2 back in '63 was the first time we saw Vulture. So he has been reinvented, so to speak, for the movies, it looks like. See here, for my knowing English better than Croatian is a talent. Yeah, well, hey, that's pretty awesome. War Machine, 250,000 studs. Money well spent, if you ask me. I guess all money is well spent when you get as much as we do. James Rhodey Rhodes is one of the Tony Stark's oldest friends and a skilled pilot in the U.S. Marines. Rhodey has often taken up the Iron Man mantle when the burden became too much for Tony. When using the heavily armored JRXL-1000 variable threat response suit, he is known as War Machine. Iron Man number 118 back in '79 was the first time we saw him as James Jones. Wiccan number, well, I guess it's 250,000. Next up, not number anything. We'll go ahead and flip his card around, and it looks like he's wearing a wig. It looks like he got a little toupee on or something. Billy Kaplan was regularly bullied at school for his homosexuality. Following a chance meeting with his favorite Avenger, the Scarlet Witch, Billy stood up to his bully. During this encounter, Billy's powers manifested for the first time, causing him to almost kill his bully, taking the name Wiccan. He is a founding member of the Young Avengers. First comic appearance, Young Avengers number 1 back in '05. Interesting. I had no idea there was any take on Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. Let's see here. Winter Soldier, 150,000 studs. We remember him from a couple of Captain America movies. Sergeant James Bucky Barnes is a former U.S. soldier and the childhood best friend of Steve Rogers. Bucky was believed to have been killed in World War II, but his injured body was actually retrieved and repaired, enhanced with a cybernetic arm, and with no memory of his old life, Bucky has been trained to become the Hydra operative known as the Winter Soldier. Captain America #1 back in 41 was his first appearance as Bucky. All right, well, hey, guess what? We've got only about 4 left. So Wonder Man is up next, 250,000 studs. And let's see here. We've got, following a brush with the law, Simon Williams was recruited by the Masters of Evil and agreed to be the test subject for Baron Zemo's ionic ray treatment. The process gave him a superhuman ability, but it was eventually succumbed to its side effects. Since returning from the dead in ionic form, he has turned to good and joined the Avengers as Wonder Man. Avengers #9 in 1964 was the first visit we saw from him. Yellow Jacket, we remember him from Ant-Man. We know that he is kind of the disgruntled version of... Well, what's his real name, though? It's not Pym. Or it is Pym. It is Hank Pym. So, okay, so wait a minute, then. So Yellow Jacket in the Ant-Man movie is a bad guy. And it's not played by Hank Pym. Hank Pym is somebody else. He plays the original Ant-Man, who then passes it on, right? So, I'm confused. I'm so confused. So when a chemical spill during a laboratory accident caused Hank Pym to suffer a psychological break, he developed a new personality and began calling himself Yellow Jacket. As a member of the Avengers, Yellow Jacket patrolled the streets, actively seeking out crimes to stop. However, in the confident but irrational and volatile personality, Hank often causes as many problems as he solves. First appearance, Avengers #59 in 68. And let's see here, we got Yondu as the last on the list down here, so we'll go ahead and check him off now. I do have a couple up top here. We are going to flip his card around to see what's going down with him. Yondu was sold to the Kree Empire by his parents when he was young. After 20 years as Kree battle slave, he was freed by the clan of Ravagers. He joined the Ravager clan and later on to lead the Space Pirates as they became the most feared clan in the universe. First appearance, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy prequel, Infinite Comic #1 in 2014 as Yondu Udonta. So he's rather new too. I mean, his story goes back a long ways, but his character creation is rather recent. All right, so it looks like we've got, speaking of Ravagers, perfect timing. We got Groot Ravager Edition up top for 25K. Let's go ahead and check him out and see what's up. Now, keep in mind, we are getting ready to kind of wrap this stream up. We've been at it for almost 3 hours, getting pretty close to that anyways, and we've very much enjoyed our time. Hopefully you guys have as well. We've had a pretty decent stretch of people here. Now, we'd love to see those numbers get into the hundreds or thousands of actual watchers, but we understand that not everybody can stop what they're doing and watch our stream live, but the good news is it's always going to be available on our YouTube channel at a later date. So, Mini Groot was captured by the Mutinous Taserface and his crew. Or Mutinous, sorry. My bad. My eyes are getting a little fuzzy after all this reading. Adopted as the clan's new mascot and decked out in the finest Ravager threads by the tailor, Groot spends his days being helpful, following instructions to the letter, and ably assisting his friend Rocket. All right, and let's see here. Looks like we've got another Spider-Man we need to unlock here, and I think that might be it. We'll have to do an overall view here, but we got Spider-Man homemade suit, which is awesome. It's clearly from the Homecoming movie. I guess maybe it's in the comics too. Maybe they still have. Peter Parker was a high school student and was bitten by an irradiated spider, and soon discovered that the bite had given him spider-like superpowers, naming himself Spider-Man. After failing to stop a crime that ultimately led to the death of his Uncle Ben, Peter realized it was his responsibility to become a superhero and protect the innocent, as he had the power to do so. First appearance, Amazing Fantasy #15, 1962 as Spider-Man. All right, so I'm going to kind of give a quick overview here and make sure that we got them all. I'm not seeing any. And Tyler, you don't have a live view of this right now, so you can't verify that with me.
No,
but,
it's delayed.
I am 99% sure that we got them all. Oh, nope, psych. There is another Spider-Man up there. It's the Spider-Man symbiote for 25,000. So go ahead and buy him as well. I had a great time hanging with you. Yes, no, I was very nice having you for the whole stream. Adam, thanks for taking the time to hang. So here, after attempting to repair a damaged suit, Peter Parker was engulfed in a black goo, which was later revealed to be a symbiotic life form. This formed into a new black suit and augmented and enhanced many of Peter's powers and abilities, including his strength, speed, and stronger webbing. The symbiote has since gone on to create Venom and Carnage. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 252, back in 1984. So I do believe that's all of the Spider-Mans. Did I get all the... Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take one more last peek here, as I do believe I purchased all the characters, which then takes me to the vehicles. These are going to be a lot quicker, though, as they don't have a backstory. We're going to go ahead and, I guess, just run through them, as they don't even give us the names of them. So, interesting. I'm not sure why it's not showing any of them, but I guess we'll just go ahead and purchase them all. So I can't flip them card around or nothing. Alright, what's our final total gonna be? Any guesses, Tyler? Do you think I'll still be?
I don't think you got them all. Well, you got all the characters, I think.
Booyaka Shao, I just got the trophy, the Inhibitants, which is for, let's see here, purchase all characters. So it looks like, just FYI to everybody out there, it looks like the vehicle tokens are also included in the purchase all characters trophy achievement. So well, we've got all the vehicles, and any special vehicle anybody wants to see that didn't get a chance to? Here's, isn't that Lola? It's weird why it's not showing me, like, I swear it shows names normally, but maybe it doesn't. See, now it's showing me the name. What the heck? It wasn't showing me the name before. That was really weird. So, like, when you watch me, like, it should be right now on the stream if you're watching it, you can see that it's not giving me the names of any of the vehicles. But later when I return to it, it actually shows all of them. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess at this point, I don't know exactly which ones I purchased and didn't purchase. So, we got them all, though. We got that trophy achievement for completing all of the characters, which was pretty awesome. And we had a fun time while doing it, but I have to be honest, I am just, like, literally, like, I am tired. I'm not used to streaming this long. I'm not used to entertaining for this long. Honestly, I usually get a break. But as it so seems, I am about ready to roll out of here. All right, Brian, can you... Oh, we want more. We got one more. Yep, I got one last little trumpet for the road there for Adam. If there's any other requests that you guys would like to see or any questions, now is the last chance before we wrap this up. Again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out and indulging me in my my journey to stream and have some fun with Lego Marvel. That is pretty much going to wrap it up. I'll wait just another couple of seconds because I know the stream is a little behind the live feed. So, or actually, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I'm ahead of the live stream, so I got to wait and make sure that the question has been actually revealed to you guys. Tyler, you got anything you want to leave with? Nap time? You
Nope.
heading for a nap now, or what?
Yeah,
what
pretty much.
All
That time seems
right,
good.
you want to get some more burnout in the next day or two, or what?
Possibly.
What else? What would you like to play on the next live stream?
I don't know.
Fortnite?
There's quite a bit of things I would. Yeah, I don't even have that installed.
Well, we should work on that. I haven't played it very much, so we can noob it up together in squads, because we could do duos, or we could get Reese involved and maybe some other players and get some quads going, some squads. But I think that game's a lot of fun. Like, once you get into it with a couple of friends, like, it is amazing. And I don't know how much you played it. Obviously not much if you don't have it installed, but anyways. All right, guys, it doesn't look like any other questions are coming in, and we are beyond the questions popping up in the chat. So that being said, I want to thank everybody for hanging out and spending time with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We're going to be doing more of these live streams, probably at least one a week, if not multiples a week. And if you guys have any requests, games, things like that, let us know, and we will try to do what we can. Let's see here. Yep, I'm going to look up for that. I'm going to look for that Fox Kids Club VHS. If you guys find anything on the interwebs, well, please let me know. And I'm going to get a hold of my buddy Jason and see if he rounded up his VHS too. So anyhow, that's going to do it. As for me, that's wrong. Let's back up. That's going to do it. As for me, as always, until next time.